for Carlton. They're going to play too loose in defence on the back of the square.
Port Adelaide kicking with a big breeze. Brogan and McKernan. McKernan got high. Little attempted one from Hume. McKay tumbles it forward. Favola comes through. McCormick inside the forward 50. Paxman punched when perhaps he could have marked. Ball on the ground. Wanganeen having a terrific season. So much composure. Stands up in the tackle. Gets it to Morgan. And he gets it to Paxman. Steps around McKay. Down the line with a drop punt. Favola in the way. A stacks on situation in the air. Leads to the ball across the line. And Pickett and Favola traded. Free kick to the Blues.
Favola after the free, long towards half forward, high ball, pack flies, no one can mark McKay. Acting captain to Houlihan, left foot kick high towards attacking 50, holds up against the breeze. White got fist on ball, Wanganeen got ball, goes wide, and Lade is away. If he takes possession, he's turned it over. McCormick just lost it. Beaumont's got it, but he loses it. Good tackle by Carr, and Port Adelaide got themselves into a sticky situation there. Get out of it.
Oh, just a little one from Byron. Free kick just to sort it out early on. Welcome back, Glenn Manton. Hasn't played since round one. He goes to the number one forward virtually in the comp, Warren Treadwell.
Hume, clean possession. Got it to McCormick, and then on to Beaumont. Now Paxman around the corner with a tumbling ball. Almost out of trouble, not quite. Picked up by Prendergast. He can have a shot on goal into the breeze. He's pushed it away to the right. And it was taken safely by Lade. The handball over the top to Brogan. And the power away. Was that Favola leading with the chin before, Dermot? A couple of passes on the other side. And the late tackle doesn't matter because Treadray's got it.
You can be reported for chin butting a fist.
And it's not just your average chin. Treadray inside 50. Corns has got it over the top to the brother. Kane and Chad combined. Corns flies in the old Port jumper.
Well, it tells you something about the speed of the Port Adelaide team. First time inside forward 50, and they score a goal. And it only took about 4 or 5 seconds once the ball went over the 50-metre line as a penetration for them to score the goal. Carlton have been inside forward 50 on 3 occasions and yet to bring anything up.
Well, the Corns boys combined. Their dad was singing an open top car around the ground earlier on today. And they've done it in the Port Adelaide jumper, as Dwayne mentioned. Some irony attached to all of that. Camporelli for the Blues. Streaming forward as he's done so often for that club. Inside the 50, Beasy just couldn't connect with it. Free kick. Going to go Wanganeen's way. May have been taken high across half back. Looks like he might have been by Murphy, although he made the most of it, Gavin. As I mentioned, having a terrific season. Just brought up game number 250. Brownlow medal, premiership. Wouldn't he love to add to that with Port Adelaide? Sits that out in front of Corns. Don't think he's taken that inside the field of play. He hasn't. Scott Camporelli. Looks like he's going to be Kane Corns' mission for the day. High inside the 50. McKernan outpointed by Brogan. What a terrific story he's become. He gets the handball off to Schofield. Hems himself in. And then takes a bounce. Looping handball over the top. Morgan's had a couple of touches early. Back to Schofield. Short ball finds Lade at half back. Schofield running hard. Racking up the possessions. Has another bounce on the wing. Forward. Good kick too. And he finds Kasisi. 2 kicks from goal.
Young Davey should learn to chase out of the forward line a bit better than that.
Gets it to Cochran. High inside the forward 50. Treadray's got about 4 to beat in the air. The fist away from the Blues. Lappin at ground level. Almost kept in by Brogan. Not quite. And we'll have a boundary throwing.
Davies was a metre or 2 behind Schofield in the back pocket. 1 metre off the point post. Had nobody shepherd him. And by the time that Schofield kicked on centre wing, he was 30 metres behind and no one had shepherded him away from it.
Laid in the ruck and then a tackle laid. And the umpire will be forced to bounce. Shea Cockatoo Collins starting on the bench with Hardwick, Jew and Wilson.
Their quartet.
Yes. Ball up, knocked down to Koutafidis, gets them away from half-back into the midfield. Murphy, good mark, and he is away. No one inside 50 for Carlton. Favola to run back onto it, getting back with him, Bishop, rolling ball, Favola. Handball option over the top, Wait. Good one-handed grab, sold the dummy, strolls in and passes across. Chance for Houlihan, and he will walk in and goal. And he squares it up.
Well worked by the Blues. Well worked indeed. They just came forward then and found that the old Pagans paddock syndrome, and I've just got the feeling that in time, as they improve, as Dennis puts a better list together through time over the next year or two, Brendan Favola is going to seriously enjoy playing in that Pagans paddock syndrome. He's a reasonable size athlete, 6'2.5", 6'3", 15 stoner in Cameroon.
Oh, doesn't Jared Waite raise the eyebrows? Everything he does in football's got class written all over it. Set up the Blues' first goal. Into the breeze, a valuable one. The bounce back in the centre. Brogan and McKernan. McKernan did well. The on-ballers for Port Adelaide, always impressive. Free kick and play on called as Paxman goes long towards Treadray. Just traps it inside the field to play the champ. Left foots it inside the 50. Not quite going to reach its intended target. Camporelli did well. Lappin under siege. Claimed by Corns. Already got one. Squares the ball, but McKay at the top of the square will take the mark. Rated in the weekend papers by Glenn Archer as being his favourite footballer, and that Dwayne Russell is high praised.
Certainly is, and for those who do like Andy McKay, he's got his testimonial in Melbourne next week. To the outer side, ball stolen, Prendergast kicks forward, Favola getting a bit of it early, goes to Murphy, and he runs through half forward, he lost it. Gets under an attempted tackle. Wobbles it inside 50, a little roll to Favola, around the body towards full forward, how on a bounce, just the wrong side, and behind, but Carlton competitive early.
Shows you a bit about Favola's pace, as I said, for a big bloke around the 15 stone mark, and 6'2.5", and Bishop is very, very quick, but he just kept the distance on the sprint away from Bishop then.
Holton's kick smothered. Port Adelaide not making the most of the early going with this strong breeze. Over the top of Brogan. Waite comes in hard. Claimed in a Port Adelaide sandwich. There'll be a bounce on the outer side.
See how the coaches, well, they train their team there. When Skinny Lappin's come in at the end, his teammate's been tackled by Port Adelaide, so he tackles both of them just to make sure that there isn't a holding the ball adjudication.
Lade wins it down. Davies and McCormick combine to see it over the line.
If it's a stacks on the mill syndrome, the umpire won't pay it. But if there's just one definitive opponent tackling somebody from the other side.
Time to go the group hug, you reckon, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Over the back, Pickett with class. She's been impressive in the last month and a half. Left foots it inside the 50. Bouncing ball for Corns, who's been terrific. Handball over the top, Schofield. Finds himself in a little bit of space, but just couldn't get a handle on the ball. That's the stacks on situation Dermot Brereton mentioned. And we'll have a bounce about 35 out.
James and Hume running around together there. Yeah, well done by Wiggins to just charge in and hold that ball up there, create the bounce down.
Find out from our resident windsock, Michael Roberts, about that breeze shortly as Beaumont takes it out of the air, threaded it through to Lappin, runs through half back, and they are running the ball well. Goes with a torpedo inside 50. BC there just couldn't steal it. Morgan had it stolen back from him. Waite was there, grabbed by Paxman, through legs, Brogan getting back now, Wanganeen. And he can reload for Port Adelaide from half back. Bishop. Looping handball over the top. Carr can run. Had a sensational season. Josh Carr missed the first couple of weeks after being suspended for 2 in a Wizard Cup altercation with Peter Bell, but has been great since then. Treadray also another good season. Long and high with the breeze inside 50. Corns the target. Good, no, not a good punch away. Free kick Corns.
That's tough, isn't it? That is tough. The umpire's making it clear what he suggests it's for. That's it there, the arm around there. It's almost like Cornsey gets low to get strength on the push. And the arm goes over there, but as to hindering his opportunity.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And
yep.
Chad Corns drives it through. Port Adelaide's second goal.
He's a good player, Corns. You see Treadray and Chad there just working out something, trying to establish who needs to push up the ground. Treadray thought the ball was coming down the other end of the ground for a start, and then he had to cover so much territory to be that link run, that link in the chain outside forward 50. Eventually punches it on, so now forward to full forward. Goal.
By his own admission, Chad Corns, the goal tally of 23, the only disappointment in his season. Now he's deep in attack. He's got a chance to make good of all of that, and that was a terrific goal for him. In fact, the Corns have kicked the whole score for Port Adelaide. A goal apiece. Lade bangs through a couple. Gets the handball out wide to Carr. Trying to get it forward. Chopped out there for the Blues by Davies. But now Choppy ends up with it. Byron Pickett inside the 50 with a tumbling ball. Here's Corns again. Left foot around the body from Chad Corns. Got his second in a minute.
Talent there. Real talent there. And if you notice, when you go right outside forward 50, Houlihan is chasing Byron Pickett, and the shepherd comes out and he shies away from it before the contact even comes. I mean, you've got to find out. Dennis Pagan has to find out what players can play today. Now watch Houlihan here. No, I don't want to be bumped. And he gives up the chase. Now Dennis would like to see somebody go to ground, but at least thrust and just take on the body of that shepherding player. Consequently, that will radiate through the rest of the team for the whole day. Let's hope it doesn't, but that's what the worst case scenario can be.
I don't think he minds wearing this jumper at all. In fact, I think he's enjoying the occasion, the serendipity of it. They've kicked the whole score, the Corns boys, and again, Port might get it out of the middle. Hume stops them. Took them all on, put the body on the line, kicks to half forward, getting back Wanganeen. Can he win Brownlow medals 10 years apart? Be the first person ever to do it. Mark taking it half back, Brogan. Now wider, hoping for Morgan. With Adelaide trying to open it up, but Carlton players flooding back. Long kick. Kane Corns gets there and takes the mark just inside the boundary line.
Started well, the family. He'll just drop it off, looking for Treadray. Just doesn't carry Lappin, who's been a good player for the Blues.
You have a look at the numbers back there at each of the centre bouncers. The last two, Carlton have started with 9 men in defence.
Camporelli carefully to Manton.
You've got to say, why wouldn't you? I mean, this type of wind, it's almost like first bounce of the quarter against the wind, run the clock down from there.
Manton high, Morgan almost. Ball on the ground. Beasy has it claimed to him, and then a push. And he'll get a free kick.
We can get a test on how strong that wind is there with Michael Roberts, just how straight his hair is being blown back off his face. Robbo will have a count on it anyway.
Beasy, left foot, land just inside the 50. McKernan did well against the smaller opponent, it has to be said, in Carr, but he got rid of him and took the mark.
Well, this is one where, given no wind, you'd suggest that, yeah, this is going to get the distance every time. But might actually ask Robbo, has he got this covered into the breeze?
I reckon he has, Derm. It's actually quite sheltered in there. Speaking with Mark Williams before the game, he said that in that particular pocket there where McKernan's going to kick, he should make the distance. It's about a 5-goal breeze. If Port Adelaide use it, it could be more.
19 goals in the season for Corey McKernan. This for the Blues' second. Beautiful set shot exponent. That's a wonderful kick. Got his second.
Yeah, strong punch through the ball. Was a Robbo spot on the money there. Good shelter from that new stand down there at Amy Stadium. That's a good mark. Just the body there. And some blokes play all right in the wind. Some play poorly, and it sounds a silly thing, but some marking players are incapable of in the wind, and you saw Corey there. Didn't look at all comfortable in the wind. He was lucky that perhaps a smaller key position player, a smaller player, came out to challenge him.
Corey McKernan, best and fairest winner last year. Technically Brownlow winner in 96 with Voss and Hurd, but of course he was ineligible, even though he polled the same amount of votes as the other two. Free kick in the middle of the ground. It'll go Port Adelaide's way, and it'll go to Dean Brogan.
Once again, the Blues set up. He got a bit of blood on the back of the arm there. He would have been sent off last year under the blood rule. 4 men in the forward line, no wingers and 9 backmen. They set up, Carl.
Brogan Bergen with this breeze. Long, hoping for Corns. Lappin got back. Couldn't complete the mark. Livingston. McCormick. Now wide. Back to Lappin. Just out of his reach in the end. Gets the kick away towards the wing. Carr crushed by Hume. Umpire said Hume wasn't necessarily going the ball. He was going Carr. And Carr gets the free handball.
You know Hume is going to have a dig at it.
Inside the 50 again. They've had lots of entries, Port Adelaide. This one carries to the back in Livingston for the Blues. Nothing doing on the other side of the ground, so he's just got to try and dump it out the members' side. Numbers favour him. Short one from Beaumont, okay to McCormick. Left hand handball through. They overcome. Look at Byron Pickett. Just comes in hard. And makes Prendergast pay.
You would think that is a legitimate bump. He was clear of the head and just felled him.
Prendergast down the line, almost Beasy, paid anyway, and now Murphy tries to strip the ball away, but due to the fact that it's a mark, it's got to come back.
It's surprising even at league level. There he is. That is a perfect execution.
Maybe it was Carr coming on the back, Dermot, that was paid.
Maybe.
Not sure. I actually was heading your way, but now I'm going the other way. From Beaumont, and he finds Andy McKay at centre-half forward.
Look, Port Adelaide have been inside forward 59 times for their 3 goals. If this kick from McKay goes in there, this is Carlton's 9th penetration.
Not a great kick. James forced to wade under it, picked up by Koutafit. He's around the body. Unable to bring it back far enough. In fact, it dribbles across the line and out of bounds. A boundary throw-in. Not a bad result for the Blues.
Going really well here, the Blues. Having a real dig at it. Most of their players out on the ground.
Throw in just in front of that fence that Paul Roos said Wayne Carey got his foot stuck in last week as McKernan takes it out of the air and just misses behind to the near side. 17 minutes elapsed. Corey McKernan, who of course played in 2 premierships with the Kangaroos, just not able to put it through. Long kick in just over the head of McKernan this time, and they've got the numbers. Kasisi. And now Wanganeen, bounce through the corridor, looks forward for the pass options, goes to Pickett, thought to come back and get it, shrugs the tackle, good leg, body strength, goes with a pass, just through the hands of Guerra, Wiggins, tucked into the boundary line, almost caught McKay. Couldn't really handball over the boundary line and make it deliberate. Went to Treadray in the end. Guerra was there. Wiggins slams, still got it. Jew's got him. Houlihan lends support. Will they get out of trouble? Beaumont's calling for it. He'll need to get it shortly. Long ball towards Beaumont and Hume. Good play. And they will get out of trouble, the Blues. Against the breeze. Kick toward the wing. Paxman gives the free to Beasy.
See, Paxman was good then. I mean, at the end, Beasy's fallen to the ground. And with a bit of help from Pax, just pulls the arm down. But, gee, he just nagged all the way on the back of the lead then.
Dangerous kick into the centre. Works in the end through the good play of McKernan. Prendergast ends up with it when he didn't know he was going to get it. And now Wanganeen has got it with all sorts of room in front. And trouble for Byron Pickett. Has a bounce. Sums up his options and then goes high and long with the breeze. And misses away to the left for a behind. The first blemish on the Port Adelaide scorecard.
That is an indication of the breeze out there. He is, just through the knowledge of the elements here, just decided to give it air. And he's half toe poked that one from 55 out, 5 beyond the line. And it sailed through well and truly with enough length.
Houlihan to himself, one of the famous Houlihan 4. Spearing pass finds Wiggins. Still inside, defensive 50. Goes to the members' grandstand side. Brogan half held by McKernan. Umpire said play on. Corns off the deck. That's Chad. Rolls it toward the boundary line, and no shouts from any Carlton fans for deliberate. It'll be a ball in. 50 from Port Adelaide's goal.
Tough to be heard if you're a Carlton fan at AAMI Stadium, Dwayno. But they're doing okay. Into what we keep repeating is a very strong breeze. That's Hardwick getting his way to the front. And then James. Now Brendan Lade stands and waits. I think a free kick's been paid, and now it's going to come back to James. So there seems to be no advantage via the Lade kick.
The umpire deemed that because Lade had it, it was not going to be any advantage to Port Adelaide. That's a harsh call.
It is. That's a skilled judgment call.
It is.
It is.
Mind you, that man on screen has got plenty of skill, so Port Adelaide fans won't mind seeing the ball in his hands.
He's one of those blokes that outside Victoria, the greater football media just doesn't see enough of being outside there, and so they're not exposed to him, and they don't realise how good he really is.
They know him in Brisbane. He's kept winning scores against Brisbane on the siren 2 times.
This is Stuart Cochran, the former Kangaroo. You'd say too far out to score, but maybe not. Goes in short, finds Schofield. Spent some early time in his career at the West Coast Eagles, of course. And now they break for him.
He is talented and he can make things unfold. It's good hands here, so, well, there he goes, bombs it up.
Sits the ball up high. The marking players for Port Adelaide assemble, as do the defenders for the Blues, and the fist away. We'll see a boundary throw-in.
Not a bad option for Port Adelaide, better than a behind. They've still got the ball in their danger zone. Lade to do the ruck work against Koutafidis. Koutafidis front spot. Lade takes it out of the air and it's lost. And that so often happens when you get an experienced ruckman against a makeshift ruckman, even though the man of Koutafidis' talent you would back in, but good piece of strength, not such a good piece of delivery.
Hume to bring it away on the outer side. Keeps it low under the breeze and does well. This is Beaumont. Further afield, he's got Livingston in some space. Using the footy well down the outer side, the Blues. This one looking for Beasy. Paxman's got him covered on this occasion. Well played. Got to Hardwick. Just barreled his way through. Now Polton. Short ball. That hasn't gone far enough. And eventually it's over the line. So 5 minutes remaining in the first term. It's a 3 or 4 goal breeze, according to Michael Roberts. And yet Port Adelaide are just out by a goal. They need to make the most of these last 5 minutes lapping. Some good roving work from him. Kicked it to centre half forward. Pushed off at Brogan. McKernan can get back on the ball here. Great shepherd from Murphy. McKernan on the left boot. Can he kick his second? Favola gets a fist in there. Wanganeen has to track it back over the line. And it's a behind.
22 minutes elapsed, so we're into time on. 5 minutes remaining.
Poor thinking, poor thought process, employed there by Corey McKernan. Just had to understand that, have a little bit of space, have like that extra half second, which is an eternity when you're running at goal, just to make sure of the kick. Just rushed it.
Paxman to Bishop, and now Michael Wilson from half back. Every Carlton player now in front of Michael Wilson, so not a lot of space to kick to. Goes long and high. Lade, McKernan, Brogan. Beaumont kicks smothered. Ricochets. Davies. Loops the handball. Prendergast caught. Just got it away in time. Umpire set free. He was tackled illegally. And he will get a free. The ball will come back. So they have done very well, Carlton. In fact, they could even be in front by the end of this term the way they're going. Ball towards half forward, Brogan. Picks it off the top of the pack. Looks the handball, Wilson. Put Adelaide away. Made it tough for Cochran. Back to Wilson. Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Free kick back in the middle of the ground. It'll go Port Adelaide's way. Did you see what that was for?
Kenny Pickett or Wilson Pickett? I'm not sure which way you were headed with that, Dwayne.
Well, Cochran's got the ball. His direct opponent is Cooter, who's about 70 metres down the line. He would have been better coming out here trying to pick up on Polton.
He's got a couple of bounces. He's inside the 50 now. Can load it up and kick a goal for Port Adelaide. Needed to set it up left of the goalpost as the breeze is coming from his left to right. And in the end, it just steered it through for a behind. Barnaby French, former Port Adelaide player, sits it out. His club only trailed by one straight kick. Camporelli brings it in. Cockatoo Collins on the ground. Good big climb from Beaumont from behind. And he takes the mark at halfback for the Blues.
He won't die wondering. The cocky, he tried to claim that off the umpire.
Was in front spot. Beaumont high. Brogan front spot. Can't complete the mark. Hardwick completes the handball. Will find way to face McCormick. Backtracks and just tackle on the kick. Hits Lade, and according to the umpire, it went the required 15 metres and Lade from the wing will pump Port Adelaide to half forward. Short pass option is on. He ignores that. Says to Schofield, I go to the middle. And he goes to the middle well to Cochran. Now Jew, known long kicker of the ball, goes inside 50. Here is Treadray. Got the handball from the cocky. And scored all round. Magnificent goal. First goal for Treadray.
Well, 15 seconds ago, they were only a goal in front, and we'll just count from then about the 3.5-minute mark. The teams down the bottom end of the ladder, you notice that at the end of each quarter, they're the ones that get kicked. They have goals kicked against them in the red time. So, just assume from about a minute ago, they're -1, the Blues, after a great standing in this first quarter. Let's see if they can hold on in this last 3 minutes of the first quarter.
Warren Treadray kicks goal number 42 on the season and gives his side a 2-goal break as we approach quarter time. Well done, McKernan. Got high. Hume's been good. The clearance out of there for the Blues by Davies. Got it to half forward and Waite. Left foot tumbling kick, not great, but it might work to Murphy. Overran the ball. Brogan picked it up. Holton's had plenty of it. Hardwick, the former Bomber. Nice little toe poke kick to Lade, who's getting plenty of the ball. Almost a roving commission for the big man. Good chase from Favola. Got the handball forward. Dew inside the 50. Corns to fly from the back, almost. Beaumont did well to stand his ground at the front and did better to rove at ground level and get the ball out of his defensive 50. Wilson's got a couple to beat. A trip attempted there by McCormick. Didn't come off. Probably a good thing too for his safety. On the ground, McKay can get it. Pickett with the chase, just couldn't reel him in. McKay, the handball forward to Hume. They're building here, the Blues. Inside the 50 goes Hume. Favola one out, but downfield. The kick's going to go to Brendan Favola. After Schofield, I think it was, unloaded Hume. Although, that's the liberal use of the word unloaded.
Yeah, I mean, he's just pushed him in the back there, but I think if you watch the replay a little bit further on, he also falls in on top of him. Neither of them were the full free kick, but they were half ones, and I reckon the umpires thought 2 halves, make 1.
Okay, Brendan Favola. He's kicked 48 goals on the season.
Taken off with that now. Let's have a look at it, see just where he ends up. Does he land on him in the end? No, he rolls over the top of him. Yeah.
Soft break go on most occasions. So Favola, 35 out, slight angle. Good looking kick. That's an excellent result for Carlton. They fight back.
Blues are holding, aren't they? You really worry about these teams down the lower end of the ladder in the red time, in the time on phase of each quarter, that they get, well, almost winning tallies scored against them. This is where it's been caused by the Schofield, just a little push. And Dusty Hume, down he goes. Well done, Andy McKay. I think he's kind of like Hume. He'd say, no, take that back, because I don't want to be known for that. No, they'll take it, the Blues. Only adrift by 1 goal. Good showing here.
49 goals for the year for Brendan Favola. Given that he only kicked 13 last year, he has had a good season. From the middle, Hume gets the takeaway. High towards half forward. Paxman appeals for the free, gets it. And the crowd cheering. Beasy not so sure it was there. 1 minute remaining. Brogan's wide. Kick made it tough for him. He can tap it over the top. Does well. Bit of basketball in that. Just the tip off. Knocked it over the top. Inside 50. Polton looks for Cockatoo Collins. And just not from his grasp. But perhaps back into the corridor would have been the better option, Derby.
You'd think so. I mean, they've got heavy numbers down there. Once again, just have to say, they're starting with 8 forwards. Carlton are starting with 9 backmen. So they're forced to go wide when you see all that sea of jumpers.
Laid with the palm down. Good commitment by both players there. Hardwick known for that commitment. And Prendergast went down side by side. And with just under 40 seconds remaining, Port Adelaide maybe one last chance to score.
Lade gets it to James. Can he manufacture something and push?
Well, I suppose after paying it at the other end, they almost had to pay that.
You don't really have to fall directly on top of him anymore, do you? I mean, that little the armpit's forced into the ground there.
But had they not paid the earlier one, they probably would have let that go.
That's short. Now the umpire lets it go. Corns has got to wheel it around. Top of the square. Treadray in good position. Manton did well.
Well done.
And took the mark now. He's called to go. fans don't like it, I'm not sure that it would have made any difference as the siren sounds to end the first term, and that's a good performance from the Carlton Footy Club. They've kept Port Adelaide to just a goal lead with the aid of a very, very strong breeze, and they'll be pleased with that. So Port Adelaide lead the Blues by a point at quarter time.
Monday, Collingwood captain Nathan Buckley is live on the couch. It's been 10 years since he won the inaugural Rising Star Award, but despite all the personal accolades and over 100 games as skipper, a premiership still eludes him. Can the Pies do it this year? Nathan Buckley speaks openly of the quest for the cup on the couch, live Monday, 8:30 Eastern.
Internet. I'm waiting for an important call.
Don't worry, Patty. We've got Telstra Home Messages 101.
What's that?
It's Telstra's new home message service. It takes messages even when you're on the phone or the internet. It's free to turn on and free to use. Just dial 101.
Oh, that's handy. What are you looking at, Dal?
Don't come over here.
Oh, there.
Telstra Home Messages 101. It's free. Dial 101 from home to turn it on.
The National AFL Rising Star recognises the best young footballers playing in the Australian Football League. These are the nominees from the first 6 rounds. Sam Mitchell from Hawthorn, St Luke Ball, Carlton's Trent Spawn, Jared Brennan from Brisbane, Sydney's Adam Schneider, and Michael Osborne from the Hawks. The award is part of the National AFL Pathway Program. Who will be the National AFL Rising Star in 2003?
Join us on Wednesday night. We've got the smallest ruckman in the history of the AFL.
The only pygmy to play in the ruck, but they've given up.
He was that tall, maybe that tall, maybe that tall. Plus David Mackay.
Fox Footy's Grumpy Old Men. Wednesday nights, 8:30 Eastern.
Stadium action, and the Blues are giving a yelp. They're giving one big yelp here into a 4 to 5 goal breeze. Carlton only shy by 1 goal. They're kicking with that breeze in this second quarter. Chad Corn's 2 goals for the Port Adelaide Power. Let's go down to Michael Roberts, who's got Barry Mitchell with him.
Thanks, Dermot. Barry, you'd have to be wrapped. Tremendous stuff going into the breeze in that first term.
It was a good start. We ran the ball pretty well into the breeze, and it was a good result.
Spoke a lot to McKernan. What did you have a chat about there?
I'm just talking about his ruck work to play in front, to jump at the ball. When he does that, he does a good job for us.
And Kuda?
Well, Kuda did a good job for us as well, just blocking up a bit of space, and we'll just see how it goes this quarter now.
You've got to work it with the wind now, don't you?
We do. Hopefully we can take advantage of it, but sometimes it's just as hard, depending on how the day goes, to kick goals with the wind.
Good luck in the second term.
Barry Mitchell there. Let's look at Pearce in the 50. Now, this will tell a story of unintelligent play by the on-ballers of Port Adelaide. What's happening is when you get a team like Carlton who stack their back line when they're kicking against the wind, they've got 9 defenders in there. It's easy for Port Adelaide's forwards then to lead out wide away from the traffic. It is simple and it is dumb football from the midfield to honour those leads. You hold the ball a fraction longer, wait for them to go out there and then kick to the one-on-ones that remain down the corridor. So I'm sure that'll be addressed at half-time when they kick with the breeze in the third quarter. Let's see how the Blues go with the breeze to the right-hand side of screen.
Port Adelaide by a goal. McKernan and Brogan up high, but McKernan stole it, got the kick away, and that is a long launch. Murphy almost. Big kick inside 50. Couldn't quite complete it, and a free kick has been found. It'll go to Paxman. No, it won't. The umpire said it'll go to Hardwick instead. Short, Bishop. Back pocket. Port Adelaide kicking into this breeze. Michael Roberts said was worth maybe 4 or 5. And they only trail by 1. Kick wide, high kick, Brogan the intended target, McKernan playing well. About to pump the Blues back inside 50, or the blue and yellows today. High ball, chance for Lade, sat under it, waited and waited.
That's a hold.
Took a strong mark.
I thought it was. I really thought then that young Beasy was pushed off it by Paxman. Now we'll get a replay of it. He makes no attempt to disguise this Shepherd by putting his hands up for a mark. All he does is run Beasy away from it. In the old days of one umpires, you get away with this. Now watch Paxman coming in here, just keeps pushing, holding, pushing. Doesn't really let him get there. It's a half free kick. It's only a half one when you look at it on examination, but costly, isn't it? Really costly there. And even if Callum Beasy had made a bit better effort, he probably would have got to the contest.
So what's your decision to start this second term? Beasy puts scores back level.
Regardless of how it gets there, the Blues are doing incredibly well. There's a long, long way to go in this match so far. This was the angle I saw first up, and that looks a bit more damning than the behind-the-scenes one. This is the umpire's view. Just retards him, and I tell you what, there've been a lot of fullbacks make a great career on play like that and never got penalised.
Scores level after the Beasy goal.
Let's have a look from the first side. Arm around there, just moves him away from it. Not enough perhaps in most people's books for a free kick, but technically, if you want to go purely technical, that is a free kick. Centre bounce clearances, Carlton 6, Port Adelaide only the 3.
Almost McKernan getting his own ball. James could have been socked on that occasion. In fact, I think he was. And the free's been picked up by one of the umpires at the back of the square.
No, it's not. He's elsewhere.
So Roger James sees Schofield in some space, finds that player. Port Adelaide can get up and running here inside the 50 with a high ball. Corns in front. Livingston did well at the back. The carry on the ball belied the breeze. He goes out looking for Houlihan. Treadray closing on him. Houlihan's got it now. Centre half back, good kick, finds Davies. Davies can slip it to centre half forward. McKernan stands his ground. Big man and having a big game, and this isn't beyond him. Doesn't have a crack. Goes with a real wobbly kick inside the 50. Paxman with courage in front of Favola, but Favola butters up and picks it up. Left foot shot, hasn't brought it back far enough, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Favola, who first met Dennis Pagan when he went to the footy one day, sat down to watch a game, and Dennis Pagan just happened to sit down in the seat next to him. Got chatting, and strangely enough, as time progressed, he ended up being his coach and has saved his career. From the back pocket, the kick towards half-back, Paxman dives, can't take possession, but Lade does. Wide towards Hume, James, boundary line, all played by Hume. High towards attacking 50, and Lappert is within range.
Well, they'll kick from 55. And you saw Stewie Drew out that side of the ground, got 75 metres on the carry once he got the ball, as Brian Taylor calls it, up into the jet stream.
And he puts it up there. High, long drop punt, they like it. The Blues are in front.
Well, I mean, we've had some interesting games this weekend in terms of upsets, and there is a whole lot more football left in this match, but I think we all thought from the get-go it was going to be one-way traffic. You had to lay $1.04 to make 4 cents today if you were going to back the power.
'15th against first, and it's the minnow biting at the heels of the giant. McKernan doing really well, although that was Roger James getting into half forward. Kane Corns getting involved, McKay there as well. Schofield's been pretty good. McKay off the ground, a little more strength on that than he wished.
He'll try something here.
Inboard finds Cochran.
Carlton's 10 disposals this quarter are all kicks, resulting in 2 goals.
High inside the 50 from Cochran. Lots of Carlton numbers back. McCormick at ground level, good pickup. Nowhere to go, so he has a bounce. Tracked down by Burgoyne, who's been quiet. They combine back there through Wiggins, and now Murphy the Blues. Lots of run. Davies, shot deep now. Picked up by Jew. Claimed in the tackle, tries to spin out, it comes to Corns. 35 out on the left foot, kick as far as Manton only.
Nonetheless, Dennis Pagel would be hating that. They were in space and they persisted with handball. Carlton are the #1 long kicking team. That's the way Dennis plays. Just to give the chance to be dispossessed by overuse of handball, he would dread.
Hume, he got it from McCormick, kicks towards the bowler. Hands on the ball, McKernan, confidence high. Got there but couldn't find a target with the handball. Brogan. Hardwick, not a lot of players to go to down the corridor, has to chip wide and James has some space. Ball bounces unkindly for him. Pavola came hard, a little too hard. No, just the right amount of hard. The ball comes to McKay and he couldn't find a target after what was a valuable turnover for the Blues. They just couldn't make something of it. Bishop to Wanganeen to the other side.
He just didn't have the vision long enough to see Corey McKernan, who I suppose was 70 metres, but with this breeze, that was in range.
Axman to Schofield, wobbly ball. Cochran made it look okay. Got a rolling kick away, Pickett. And now back to Paxman. He can bounce his way all the way through, attacking 50. Goes for the high kick inside. Getting back, Prendergast. Jew about to spear under the ball. Knocks it back central. Livingston takes it through for a behind.
Stewie Jew. Not sure if that's the legal disposal. In the end, I don't think it mattered.
2-on-1. Favouring the Blues.
Camporelli to the outside, that was too easy.
Just didn't want the body contact again, Houlihan. He just had to give a bump. He might have got bowled over, but would have kept Treadray away from the ball.
McKay came belting through. Hardwick came belting through. Inside the 50 with his ball. But again, Prendergast, eyes only for the footy. Took a very nice mark. Handball off to Wiggins. Through some traffic, he goes long, laid with the one hand. McKernan's got Brogan to beat. Now he gets some assistance. Corey playing one game here. Colton, ground level, a little messy, claimed in the tackle of Waite. Gets up, did well, Colton. Did very well to get it to Brogan. Now Wanganeen around the body. Great vision from Wanganeen. That's a terrific kick. Pickett, half forward. Bounces out in front in that customary style. Now inside the 50, spearing ball, and a terrific mark to Chad Corns.
Get much shelter down in that one, Dwayne, this pocket?
With that new grandstand, yes, Dermot, for sure.
It's still curl across the face. As he looks at it, it still should go left to right.
Toughest kick for the day.
He makes the angle look better, and almost brings it back far enough. Top of the post.
Sounds like a bongo drum, that post. Get a replay of that
Special
one.
comments and sound effects.
Sound effects, got
You've
the
got it all.
Yeah.
Short pass in was good. Prendergast got it from Camporelli. Now down the corridor, he's hoping for McCormick. Getting a hand on Balder's car. Handball to James. Handball over the top to Sean Berglund. Hasn't seen a lot of it.
Corns
long kick towards goal. Long kick, all right. Put Adelaide back in front.
Hang on. Is there something going on here with the umpires? They're sorting something out here.
So, goal is
There's another kick, I think. The downfield, is it? Or disallowed?
Yeah, it's going to the Blues.
Disallowed. Watch, just keep the eyes here. And I think the players go back there to Hume. Hume wants to carry it on, and they accommodate him. Welcome back to Amy Stadium. That goal has been disallowed. They will have to remove that from the score. Go to the goal umpire. He'll cross the flags. Yep, that goal is disallowed. There was a high tackle on Hume. The ball hadn't gone through the goals. It was kicked in. While it was in flight, Hume got contacted high, so the score does not stand.
Wiggins at centre-half back. Long to centre-half forward. Wait, and Corns comes back hard on it. Now laid off the ground. Things not quite going to plan for Port Adelaide in front of their home crowd. Heritage Week. And the old Magpies jumpers. And some cause for concern for that gentleman, Mark Williams.
I don't think he'd be genuinely worried, but he would be upset by most of his team because they have come out here half-cocked.
Laid to the back. Beautiful roving there from James. High to Treadray. Got Manson to beat gracefully.
Isn't that brilliant? You just watch it. Well, we'll get a replay at some stage. He just recognises the drop zone of the ball, protects it, and then at the last second falls into it for the mark. Just brilliant footy.
Treadray looks to dish it off. Now called to go. Likes to get to his left side. Eventually in short to Hardwick. Some of the players are now thinking that they might make things look a little worse than they are because there are some frees being played. Laid inside the 50. Cockatoo Collins just come on. Then he takes the mark, 35 out.
Well, young McCormick just gets lost with the flight totally here. He ran about 3 different lines to Cockatoo Collins there. Never picked up the flight of the ball.
Shea Cockatoo Collins, 15 goals on the season for him. Very talented exponent of the set shot.
Holds a drop punt like a torpedo.
Kick on the way. He may have eased that away to the left. And it's a behind.
Dwayne, you've got the explanation about his the christening. He's
named after Shea Guevara.
I always wondered if Brett Guevara's parents had him swapped. He could have had Shea Guevara.
Could well have. The turnover, Pickett short pass to Sean Burgoyne. And maybe he gets a chance here to actually kick a goal that'll count.
Yeah, that's a shank. That's a shank when they came out from the goal square here.
And really normally better than that with his disposal.
Yeah, they're the team that taps it on the boot and plays on the most from the kick-in.
Brother Peter still serving the last game of his suspension today. Sean had that goal that put Port Adelaide in front moments ago disallowed. This kick to put them in front again. And the goal umpire does not move. Port Adelaide by 3 points.
The fact that Carlton do have the win now and they look to move the ball forward a little bit more means they're not going to have 9 men in their back line for, let's say, 80% of the play time in the quarter. So it will open when Port go the other way into their own attack, but that is just a skill error from one of their better known players and better skilled players. It's all happening during the breaks here at Amy Stadium. A free kick once again before the ball is bounced.
Into half forward with the kick. Almost interfered with Cockatoo Collins. Now the Blues can settle. They've had an ordinary couple of minutes, it has to be said. Inside 50 now. 2-on-1 situation. Brogan at the back. Favola's got the athleticism. Brogan, the basketball experience, and he'll draw a free kick. Handball off to Bishop. Further afield by hand to Hardwick. Nothing doing for him up the field, so he's just got to hang on to the ball. Now he's got to go across goal. That's Holton on the other side. He's got Wanganeen running for him. Sits it up in the breeze. Almost drops on Gavin's head, but he's got it now. 50 out. Pumps it long. Paxman. Mark, free kick. Doesn't matter. Stephen Paxman. Wonderful, experienced defender. Missed a whole lot of last year. Been a very good player for Port Adelaide this year. Good low ball down the line. Finds Treadray. Port Adelaide answering into the breeze after a disappointing first term with it. They're playing well. Redray takes his man on. Long inside the 50. Again, lots of players around the footy. On this occasion, only one flying for it, and that was Livingston.
Carlton's fourth pick in the 2000 draft goes to Andy McKay, who's in his 11th season with the Blues. In fact, Summit Glenelg told Andy McKay, don't go to the Blues, you won't make it. Long kick to half forward. McKernan couldn't complete the mark. Prendergast falls over with the ball, gets it out. Guerra. Handball made it difficult for Brogan. Prendergast, Houlihan. Now Hume, good chance to score a goal here. Kicks the drop punt, and the Blues are back in front.
Well, the little pup here, he was out on the wing here when Manton came off the half-back flank. Just trailed through the centre square. He didn't have the vision out wide. Hume had run hard down this whole wing, and he's still out to the left-hand side of screen, looking to come towards us right now. He's still out there by himself. It turns around there, and Houlihan finds him. Look, Houlihan had him in a little bit of microscope on him today. A couple of times he's gone to it. He has got creativity. He's got time when he gets the ball, Houlihan, and he knows how to deliver the pill. He's just got to accept that sometimes you're going to make body contact in league footy. He could step up to the next level. Just got to put the body on the line sometimes. Got all the other goods.
McKernan and Lade. James, who's had so much of the ball in the centre of the ground, gets it to Pickett. Outside of the boot, as he likes to do. Corns probably should have taken the mark. Camporelli over the top. McKay's going to be met hard by James. Well done. Pickett comes charging through. Left hand handball inboard to Schofield. Now he's going to get it back, Byron. The look away handball to James was great. James inside the 50. Running shot on goal. Just doesn't swing the right way. And it's a behind for Port Adelaide.
You love these ones, don't you? The give and get. The two stats for the price of one in the end, in the stat sheet at the end of the day.
Yeah, for really long to Manton. Hasn't played for the Blues since round one. Over the top to McCormick.
See, McKernan's looking dangerous and getting in the right spots. They ignore him.
Brogan, a two grab. Well, he's claimed the mark, and Houlihan didn't argue.
So he is McKernan's opponent, and they just bombed it long. But with the wind, predominantly you want to go long. But when they zone off you, your teammate, and he is left by himself, you have to look shorter. You have to find McKernan.
Brogan to Paxman to Lade. Half-back flank. Then Lade over the top to the running Hardwick. Manton comes hard.
Well done.
Hardwick harder. Well played. Rolls the ball on. Treadray put Adelaide away. Treadray over the top to Guerra. About to get caught. Shrugs an attempted tackle. Long to the goal square. A one-on-one. Lappin makes it 2-on-1. Got back. Provided support. Took a good saving mark for the Blues.
Finds Beaumont. His kick's not great. Guerra really hasn't moved from where he last disposed of the ball. Inboard he goes to James. James now Carlton. Two kicks from goal. Sets it up high. Cassisi parked in front. The fist will come to the back. The Cockatoo Collins will kick an easy goal for Port Adelaide.
They're looking to do the right thing, the Blues. They're looking to assist their teammate here. It is, I mean, Simon Beaumont has scored this for Port Adelaide. 3 up against 2. And 1 down. It's a simple old equation. Simon Beaumont just has to find the target when he comes out of defence like that. Turnover to Guerra cost them big time.
Third lead change of the quarter, 5th lead change of the match. First goal to Shea Cockatoo Collins.
They've only got 3 players in there, the Blues.
Bounce. Will they get it away? Knocked down to Sean Burgoyne. Was that a 360 or a 690 in the tackle?
What a piece of play by Darren Hume here, recognising his team miscalculated.
Goes long for Fowler, the intended target, and Fowler takes a good mark. The Sprees.
He's best on the ground, Darren Hume, at this stage.
We'll put him within range. Brendan Favola.
Now he's got the distance. He's got the journey all day long. He'll kick it through at knob height on the top of the post.
On those square posts, Durban.
But don't they have the little knob on top?
I think they do. Favola This to give Carlton back the lead. Brings it back on the breeze. Not high. Straight through the middle.
I tell you what, Carlton are the longest odds any team has been this year.
Well, at the start, we could have said, stay tuned, this will be a close match, this could be a ripper, but people would have chastised us and said, typical.
Yeah,
Dermot trying to pump the game up.
No, well, we came out and said, let's not kid ourselves. It is first against 15th. Yep. Well, if you had just tuned in, you're from another country, you could have been excused for us kidding you that there's a game on here, and now that's exactly what we've got.
Like one of our very talented cameramen just to get us a shot at the top of those goalposts. There is, in fact, a knob up there. 45 to 43, Blues in front, doing really well. Half forward. Waite came through, unable to claim it. Burgoyne got a pack of Blues around him. Waite with the one hand. McCormick now charges on top of it. We'll have a stacks on situation and a ball up.
Our cameramen are good, but they can't get a shot of something that's not there. There is no knobs.
Look at that. Stadium. You're just used to every post having a knob. What is going on here with Adelaide people?
You want standardisation of goalposts.
Well, Carey cut his knee because they're square, and now they don't have knobs either.
I don't think the knob matters.
You won't allow any goalpostal expression, Dermot. Out wide, Guerra's got it on the wing outer side. Inside the 50, here goes. High ball, Manton did well to get rid of Corns on the ground. Now we'll have a ball up about 35 out.
What is it, you two? Both hailing from South Australia. Dwayne, you've left. James, you've moved in. Why do they have to be different?
There's nothing wrong with it. They're a beautiful goalpost.
They're knobless.
Corns, big fist towards his brother. Prendergast went to ground and then didn't dispose of the ball. Now he's got to be very careful because he brought it back underneath. Port fans want a holding the ball decision. They're not going to get it. Certainly not going to get it when one of their own players is holding onto the ball at the end. But this is what I'm talking about. You'll see Prendergast rope the ball back in right there. And that normally represents trouble.
Two ruckman getting too close. The master and the master's apprentice in a way. French on against Lade, his old teammate. Ball knocked down, high kick towards half-back flank. If it rolls nicely, it'll be picked up just inside the boundary by Carr. Wanganeen peels off, ball in his direction.
That's a poor kick. Forced him very wide, and he didn't have to.
Carlton flood back. Short pass is over the head of Carr.
That's a poor
danger
one.
here. He gets back on it okay. He might go back to Wanganeen. No, he won't. Wait, gets in the way and takes a good mark. Port Adelaide just playing with it. A bit too much there. And he has got all the skills, as James Brayshaw said early. McKernan can't take the mark. Great punch by Brogan. Ball knocked down. Brilliant tackle laid by Wilson. Houlihan could not break free, and we will get a bounce on the wing.
As Michael Roberts said, it is exceptionally tough to score into the wind out there. Port Adelaide this quarter, inside 50 13 times for only 2 goals. Carlton to the right-hand side of the screen. They've gone inside 58 times for 4 goals.
Going to go inside again here, Dermot. Barnaby French. Tumbling ball to half forward. Favola will track it over the line. And with about 3.5 minutes left, the Blues with a narrow lead.
Look at Corey McKernan. He's just doing the wounded pelican there with the arm span, saying clear it out, clear it out.
French tries to ease it over the back. Now goes back to get his own ball. Perhaps claim when he didn't have it. This is Hume, who's been very good. Terrific tackle there from Sean Burgoyne. Roger Jones was fantastic in tight. High ball. Houlihan to fly from the back. Got the fist on it. Lappin. Got to really concentrate on the footy here. Go over to Houlihan. Now McCormick. That's tough in tight. And we'll have the ball bounced 55 out from the Carlton goal.
Kate Simpson comes on for BC. This could be big for the Blues. They've only won 4 out of the last 25 quarters they've played. There's a win coming up in this quarter.
Kate Simpson, a late inclusion. He played yesterday for the Carlton Reserves equivalent. Full game and got the call up. And now on the field is Hume. Centering ball towards Favola. Can't quite grab it. Holton caught. Now Guerra ducks out of trouble. Got the kick away. They've got the numbers on the Blues. Wait. kicks up just outside 50, looks for a target inside, goes towards the goal square, dropping back for Vola, might pounce on the crumb, rolls it towards the goal square. Port Adelaide numbers back, and Adam Morgan, his first game of the year for Port Adelaide, rushes through the defensive behind.
Indicative the way that Gavin Wanganeen chased Waite after that ball out to the centre, where he just lobbed after him.
Carr goes in short. Paxman's got it. Goes back to Carr, out of side. You sense maybe Mark Williams will be happy to get into the halftime break, Dermot, even keel, and just say, let's start this whole thing again.
I'll tell you what, you'll be losing weight in the Port Adelaide coach box, because it'll be like a steam bath, because Choco will be steaming in there. They'll be coming out of his ears.
Cochran coughs it up. Paul's not happy. Livingston takes the mark. Lapin's got it. Last roll of the dice here, perhaps for the Blues, although we've got a minute and a half to go. Waite's been impressive. Kick to half forward. Davies supplied from the back. Fisher it was, couldn't claim it. Again, an inside 50 entry for the Blues. The bounce didn't help Paxman. On the ground, McKernan. Favola involved as well. Guerra now to the outer side. Can he keep the ball in? Gets it past Simpson. And the handball was quite nice and found Josh Carr.
Carr held up a little bit by a good piece of work from Brad Fisher to the outer side. Chad Corns caught by Waite, having a good quarter in a good season. And the umpire decides no free kick. And we'll get a ball up there is Mark Williams, who will have some work to do. And
as you called
around him, Philip Walsh, Dean Bailey, Jeff Morris and David Pittman, their ruck coach.
Al Clarkson as well. Full box in there, really, isn't it? Think about it. I think Matty Primus was in there as well. Dennis, not quite so crowded.
And with Dennis, I think it was Tony Elshie on the right-hand side, and Ross Lyon and Barry Mitchell will be there, and Gags Gallagher.
Well, Hamilton was his former
French and Lane. This is fun.
Understudy at the Kangaroos, and also Gavin Kosciuszko, who now finds himself at Hawthorn. So he's got a fair turnover, Dennis, of assistant coaches.
Neither ruckman got near it. Carr created some sort of handball to Jew. Wobbly ball, Trentray marks it. So good at judging the drop zone. Over the top to Chad Corns, 50 from goal. Against this breeze, just beyond his range, and he knows it. Jew calls for it short. He may be within range on 50.
Paxman's floated down. He'll float out now that they look to make space.
Pickett leads. That lead is ignored. Maybe. Is there time? High kick, maybe time enough for a mark, that's it. Cockatoo Collins, he couldn't complete the mark. And time beats Port Adelaide in attack. And I think Byron Pickett's piece of work there off the deck indicates the frustration for Port Adelaide. They have been squeezed, and Carlton will go into the long break with a 3-point lead.
For only it is round 9. Round 9 against Brisbane was the last time that Carlton won a second quarter. Well, they won this one up against the league leaders, Port Adelaide. They lead them 7-4, 46 to Port Adelaide, 6-7, 43.
What if someone gave the AFL clubs cameras?
It's time for Saint Scared.
And they made their own television.
I didn't know this was going on.
I'm a little bit stunned for words. I don't know what to say. Yada, yada, yada. We're going to bring it all together and serve it up.
Hey, yo, bro, it's Jimmy G. Can you see?
We're not responsible.
That was exciting and informative.
Club Corner, Tuesday to Friday on Fox Footy.
Do you make the first move? Or wait to be asked? Are you a lad or a snag? Do you make something of it? Or do you just keep walking? Do you stay? Or do you go? Do you change? Or do you stay true?
Here's a first for Harvey Norman. 17 months interest-free terms. No deposit, no interest, no repayments till 2005. What a deal. Buy now and pay absolutely zilch, zero, nothing for 17 months. Electrical, computers and communications, furniture and bedding and bedroom furniture and much more. 17 months interest-free terms. No deposit, no interest, no repayments till 2005. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions, fees and charges apply. See store for details. 17 months interest-free now at Harvey Norman. Don't miss it.
It's a nice fence, mate. It's a very nice fence.
Yeah, built it myself. All 25k of it. Straight as a die it is. Anything gets in the way of me fence, I shift it.
Get many meteorites?
With a massive 110 kilowatts of power, the Nissan Navara Turbo Diesel is the most powerful in its class.
Yeah, bit of a pain.
You beauty.
Mrs. likes the rockery though.
Tune into Dropkick to see the Maggies versus the Tigers right here on Fox Footy.
This week, black and white beauty Krista Vendy joins Josh Fraser, Mark Goslin and a firing rifle. Dropkick, 8:30 Tuesday.
That is the breeze. That is on offer here at Amy Stadium, and the Port Adelaide Power will be kicking with it in this third term. Let's go down to ground level and Michael Roberts.
Thanks, Sturm. Still running on the spot. Still freezing down here. Thank goodness it's not going to rain, but well, start again. Matty Lappin just going into the rooms at half-time said they're in a similar situation against Essendon last week. See if they can run and do the right thing this week.
Let's set it up again. Carlton playing 4 forwards once again. Only one winger, closest to camera, and 9 men in the back line.
Port Adelaide's won 13 of their last 15 third or premiership quarters. They are the equal best in the competition at it. Let's see how they go. Nice handball on the up there from Pickett, missed its target. Houlihan claimed perhaps when he didn't have it. The clearance eventually to Port Adelaide. Stumbling forward, this is Wanganeen. Started forward, half forward, sets it up on the breeze. This would be a ripping start, just carries the marking players and through for a behind. They narrow it to 2 points, the Power.
Gavin Wanganeen, never won a best and fairest at either Essendon or Port Adelaide. You would think he might snare one this year. Gabarelli kicks in from fullback, goes wide, and the mark taken by Prendergast. Got a little push on defensive 50.
This will give you a view as he looks down the ground here. What's ahead of him? One big pack.
Holds up in the breeze, coming laid very late. Play on to advantage, so it wasn't called a mark. Hume to the outer side, wing gathered by Dew. Spins around, they've got the numbers. Sean Burgoyne takes the mark, feeds it off. Holton, shortish path. James has a panic. He can go all the way. One bounce, inside 50, drop punt towards goal. Port Adelaide in front.
Sometimes you look at Dennis Pagan and the comments he makes after a game, he says things like, we just played dumb footy on occasion, that cost us a game. Young Beasley's only learning it. He dives for a mark, dive for the mark on the proviso. If you do accept it cleanly, you can take a shot at goal. Otherwise, keep your feet because you have to be the first to recover or spoil. But Roger James, he just knows where to go. He saw as soon as the ball got turned over and Beasley missed the mark, he ran forward into space. It's not cheating, it's a quick reaction time, and he seized on the opportunity.
Wonderfully balanced and skillful player, Roger James. He's going to get the clearance here again. He's having a big impact. Forward handball, good. Wanganeen closing on 50, can stretch through to Feeties, and then inboard. Sits it on the head of Corns and Treadray. Oh, they might have been stung, Dermott, in the half-time break, Port Adelaide.
Don't know if there's that much paint on the inside of the Port Adelaide change rooms at the moment, because Choco Williams would have torn a fair bit off just with his verbals, his volume. They're a 15-goal better team as they ran out onto the ground. And yet they were headed by 3 points.
So Warren Treadray, 42 goals for season 2003. In fact, he'd kicked 41-16 coming in, so his conversion rate's been fantastic. And that's another example of it. 2 goals to start the second half for Port Adelaide.
It really becomes a mindset issue for Carlton now. They can't just say to themselves, right, let's really try and just shut it down and we'll kick well with the breeze in the last quarter. They have to play the rest of this game moment for moment as if each moment is the last time they'll ever go for a footy. They have to just shut it down as best possible with pure adrenaline and everything they can give.
People once ridiculed Warren Treadray for his kicking a goal. He kicked 49-41 last year. He's now got 43-19 and he has extended Port Adelaide's lead to 10 points. On the ball up, Beasy through traffic, wobbles it wide, race on for Vola. How will it bounce? Bounces okay. He gathers outside 50, spins it around, getting back Sean Burgoyne. Dunker clear of Murphy. Wanganeen mopping up at half-backs. He loves to do. Loves to take them on. Danger. In fact, he made it look easy. Wilson to Paxman. And they're away from half-back. Paxman has a run. Would have enjoyed seeing his old Fitzroy play yesterday. Couple of bounces. Spearing pass, and it finds Chad Corns. Takes his time before pumping it inside 50. Looks at the options. Pocket 2 Collins leads to one pocket. It's Hyde in the Treadray direction. He sits under it and waits. Punch comes. Just eludes one, but not Pickett. Spins it around. McKay got a touch on the ball. And the ex-South Australian knocks it through for a behind Annie McKay, following the long line of South Australian captains of the Blues. Of course, Bradley and Curtahan, and now Andy.
Yes, the St Peter's College boy, played for Glenelg in the SANFL.
One of the interesting passages of play in the last minute or so was when Wanganeen ran for that ball in the back pocket. He had 3 teammates who recognised, oh, he'll probably get it first. They made a sprint for the other side of the ground, knowing that Wanganeen was always going to change direction and come back, knowing your teammate and his normal traits.
McKernan slaps it Port Adelaide's way. Look at James having a big impact on it, off to Corns. Gets the handball off nicely to Cassisi. He can set it up at the top of the square, the fist away, Jew in the square. Just unable to rope the ball in.
Well, they're under threat now.
They are really having to plug the holes in the damn wall, the Blues. Stewie Jew almost getting on the end of that one.
Have a look at this one. They'll call the huddle in Carlton. It's got to get tighter than that. They've got to be disciplined. They've got to get it very close and tight. Port Adelaide will try and ring it, circle it a bit. Try and stay with your opponent, but if he goes right through the pack, you have Blake sitting out the other side. Kuta to be the target.
Camporelli ran straight through the line then and kicked out from full back. Well, they changed that rule.
No.
Did he? He just ran off from full back. Get a shot at that, surely. Livingston picks it up, gives to Beaumont. High kick down the corridor. Good punch away by Wanganeen, Sean Burgoyne. Spearing pass on. Corns is on his own. Strolls in and they have missed.
Well, they might get a shot of it.
It was a little too easy, but
in the break here. Let's have a look at it. This is the kick in.
Since when are you allowed to do that?
He was so confident doing it, the umpire said he must have touched it.
It's good though, isn't it?
While I blinked.
It's like just walking out of a bank. He's got it on the other side. Punches it long down the line. There's Corns, who probably should have done better a moment ago.
What money bag?
Basically. And we'll have a bounce. Have a look at this. It's quite incredible.
He was so confident doing it.
Yeah.
You know what? He's benefited by the fact that he clearly ran through it and not overstepped there.
Didn't pull up.
It's the old saying, Dermot, if you look like you know what you're doing, you can get away with anything. It was fantastic. Almost. Schofield. Now Murphy helped into the ground. And another stoppage on the outer side.
I reckon Jeff Geeshan has got bigger fish to fry than look for the umpire who allowed that to happen.
Fry them all.
Big fist forward from McKernan. Into some vacant space for Vola, who has not been the worst for the Blues. Got a little toe to it. Roger James has started this third term on fire. Got it to Bishop. Around the corner. Led to the footy was Pickett by Houlihan. Did well. And the low chiselling ball was great to Beasy.
Plays on. Kicks it inside 50, rolling ball. Wait for Vola. Goal line beats them. And it's through for a behind. Will there be an even or upper at this end?
Oh, yeah, give it a run.
Yeah.
No, it might be a different umpire.
Yes, you would. Glad that it happened just a short way into the third term rather than late in the last quarter of an important game. Ball back into play. Carlton, caught by Wade. Brilliant tackle. He might be rewarded. Is rewarded.
He's got something. James, you say you like him. He has definitely got something, this kid. He was the only bloke on the rookie list not to come up last year for Carlton. They obviously thought, no, let's teach him. Let's make him do his time. And he is showing them the rewards.
That's a good kick at goal. That is a goal.
They bided their time with him rather than throw him up there too early. And there might be something in that. Rather than just say, let's play kids to find out who can play, when you have the luxury of educating them back in the lower comp, the lower grade, perhaps they are more mature. Perhaps they do make the better decisions when they come up.
Well, he's only a centimetre taller than Anthony Koutafidis. He gives away about 12 kilos.
Yeah.
But there's some Koutafidis about. Young Jared Waite, and he shows plenty for Blues fans to be really excited about. Laid high, McKernan held his ground and then got the clearance. Centre half forward with the ball. There's Waite involved again. Burgoyne tries to step through and Waite breaks it up again. Then gets the forward handball to Houlihan. 45 out, Houlihan misses.
Bread and butter for him. Got a very good understanding of the ball, how to drop it perfectly, and you'd back him in 99 times out of 100 in that situation.
Short pass in from fullback from James to Bishop. Carlton has had a good last 5 minutes. Wilson, half-back flank for Port Adelaide. Kicks along with the breeze. High ball. Pickett tries to pluck it from over the top. Unsuccessful. Lappin picks up. Kicks to half forward. Wade was there. Couldn't complete the mark this time. Sean Burgoyne. James. Wanganeen. Not a lot of options. Takes on McCormick. Goes to Paxman. Murphy nearly cut it off. Just a fingernail of a spoiled Paxman. Has a wide runner and it's Carlton. He has space. Murphy tries to shut him down. The laid runner. Kicks from half forward. High towards full forward. Waiting under it. Big pack. Jew. Shepherds. Picks it up in fact. Throws it to Cockatoo Collins. And he kicks a miracle goal.
Possibly missed by Houlihan at the other end. Travels the length of the ground. And Cockatoo Collins, well, he basically sits back off the pack. There's 4 of them go for it. It just sits into the inboard position. All Carlton opponents go for it. He sits out there. He's the only one left in space.
Generally knows how to celebrate a goal, the Cocky. He'll never let you die wondering as to whether it's headed through the big opening. So a 10-point lead to Port Adelaide with the breeze. Entertaining game on a Saturday afternoon, the Heritage Round. High goes McKernan. Carlton trying to work really hard in the clinches. O'Keefe was one of those players. Schofield ended up getting it to James. How much of the footy's he had this term? Got it to Burgoyne. Beautiful kick. And Pickett about 50 out, almost directly in front. 6 possessions for Roger James. And every one of them's been instrumental. And now Byron Pickett kicked 30 goals on the season himself as a small option forward. Dermot Barrett, you had a look at him at the start of the game. He was criticised heavily, and he's come into his own. Look at this kick. That is fantastic. He has drilled it from 55.
Some of the articles written about him in the time when he was going poorly, it was early in the season. It was about round 6 or so. He had a passage through to about round 8 or 9, and some said he was a sad figure because he couldn't touch the ball, couldn't find it, and he was just trying to pick blokes off from the opposition. I thought, well, that still means it means something to him at least. There's passion there.
Biggest margin of the game so far, now 16 points. Byron Pickett inspiring. one of the few premiership players in this Port Adelaide outfit. Ball knocked down to Wanganeen, another of those with premiership experience. Hume put his head into a tackle. Pickett crunches him. And he was criticised earlier in the season, Dermot, I think unfairly. And he really is centering in on taking some good form into September, Byron Pickett. That's a good wraparound tackle.
Well, he's averaged 3 goals a game since round 8.
James. Tackle, but still got the handball up. Big crush. Schofield caught. Good tackle laid by Brad Fisher. Ball comes free. In fact, the pack forms around it now. And the umpire will be forced to bounce.
Just a mini snapshot into the brain of Dermot Brereton there. Got Schofield wide open. Oh, run into him.
Brad Fisher. Well, if Brad Fisher had been Byron Pickett, what do you reckon we'd be looking at now? It'd be a stop play, and the Marshall stretcher would be out on the ground.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it would have made it harder for the opposition to win the game. Not getting much out of Anthony Koutafidis. He is playing behind play. Only 3 touches for the afternoon, halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Handy break here for Port Adelaide. Over the top, Wilson. Slapped it forward only as far as Lappin. Lappin high. Burgoyne's been good in this 3rd term. Affects the spoil. Fulton's touch was nice. Wanganeen outside. Beautiful mover, and Pickett has got no one anywhere near him. Can control the footy now. Stretches weight. 55 out. Running drop. Pop. Oh, yeah!
Byron is back. Another 2 today. Great game last week. Most of the pundits had him as best on ground. He's kicked 2-2 today, 13 possessions off a half-forward flank, and plays it like a true half-forward flanker. Jared Waite is quick, and Pickett just shows him. Says, have a look at my heels as I go for those big ones. Celebrate before it's through.
Byron Pickett, he's got it all. You might not buy your bananas green on a Friday if you know you're playing against him on a Saturday. But he can kick goals too. Kicked 4 goals last week and now has 32 goals for the season. Bounce to restart play. McKernan up high. It's been a good battle, McKernan and Brogan. Holton dumps the ball back in Byron Pickett's direction. Treadray gets it from Manton. Kick around the body. That's a long launch. It's just across the face, only a behind.
I think he's the longest kick on his non-dominant side in the comp, Warren Treadray. He swings onto the non-dominant left foot, and that one is, it's travelled 65, 70 metres.
I think in general play it's almost become his dominant side, hasn't it? This is Houlihan on the wing, keeps it in, did well, around the body, coming to meet it Beasy, controlled it nicely, and then has a couple of the power players descend on him.
Cooter's coming to the stoppage here on the wing now, whereas he's been behind the ball for most of the game. Last centre bounce was the first time he went in.
Hats off to Stuart Cochran, Dermot. He's had some big jobs for Port Adelaide after he was discarded by the Kangaroos. He's done them all well. Half forward, Cassisi almost. Schofield overruns it. This is Stewie Jew. Steps around a couple, gets the toe poke onto it. Over the top. Treadray, if he can handle it. No, free kick.
You just know that when the ball bounces end over end and it takes 3 bounces low, it's definitely going over the 4th time. If you're a forward, you just stop and peel back. If your opponent runs into it, you can live with that. If it goes over, you look like a genius.
Prendergast made it hard for Livingston. The spoil attempt was a legitimate attempt at spoiling, even though it took the player down.
Well, spoiling his looks.
Livingston high towards the wing. Koutafidis comes hard, had a lean afternoon and leans into this one. Got it to McKay. Wanganeen. Just look at this man. Perfection. Inside 50 to Cockatoo College. Gavin Wanganeen is superstar material, and it's rubbing off on some of these poor players. Cassisi, here's one it might rub off on. Young in career, might finish it with a goal. Stuart Cochran from the middle. Port Adelaide on the road.
Third quarter scoreline, Port Adelaide 6 goals for Carlton, 1-2. Which they were so good in the first quarter, Carlton, They've just been blown away. I don't know if it's lack of endeavour, but I tell you what, certainly is Port Adelaide raising the bar, running hard now. Wanganeen exemplifies that.
I think the handset on the phone in the Carlton box might have just been smashed, didn't it? Gavin Wanganeen, the architect of a goal for his club, and they are well and truly up and running now. A disappointing first half. Good, they're putting all those wrongs right here. Brogan high. James, who's just been fantastic. Corns puts his head over it. Hume always puts his head over it. And we'll have a secondary bounce. There's Mark Williams. He'll be happier.
Good record, isn't it, over the last two years?
Carr out of the centre. Finger tipper almost taken by Prendergast. Manton ended up with it. Handball back to Prendergast. Just high, and Wanganeen in best position. Good fist away from Houlihan. Blues in numbers. Hume, one of those. He's got some good running there by Fisher. Half forward, inside the 50. The kick for Favola wasn't good. Around the body goes Big Brendan. Bends it back. Bends it back. I think that's going to bounce through. Wonderful goal.
50 for the year. Third goal up for Brendan Favola, and that is a brilliant return for him. He played good footy today, Brendan Favola. 11 possessions, 3 goals, 1. He can't ask for much more than that. And he's been excellent. Well, they claw one back. Not without a slim show. And even having said that, if they get one more, if they can just hold here and maybe get one more, the Blues, it'll make it interesting in the last quarter with this big breeze, because Carlton do play long football. It means that the Power will have to stack the back line just to keep out that long penetrating ball to the goal face.
Kurtafidis in the middle as Brogan goes at it with French. Beaumont gives to Kurtafidis. Carlton away. Long to Favola. Good battle that. Favola and Bishop. Ball to the back of the pack. Hagsman. Does it sit for him? He goes to Wanganeen. Why wouldn't you? Wanganeen doesn't see any free options one side. Goes to the other side to Paxman. Bound to get caught. Chips the kick. Just too far. And Fisher might get a free. He does.
So noticeable again, Dwayne. Comes out one side, Wanganeen, and definitely prefers to go right across the goal.
To Favola. Didn't get a free, didn't get the mark. Ball thrown up. O'Keefe has a flying shot. And he's put it through.
Well, they have kicked 6 goals in this third quarter, Port Adelaide, but this game is not dead. This game is not dead here. Still 7 minutes. That's where the action's going to be. This game will be won in the next 7 minutes. This last period in the third quarter here, this is manageable for Carlton, the way they're having a dip in the last quarter with the breeze.
Sean O'Keefe with his first goal in his AFL career. And the Blues are back in it. 2 goals in a row to Carlton. And O'Keefe, an unlikely source for the second one. As I mentioned, his first goal ever in AFL football. Houlihan now. High to half forward. Hume in front. Free kick's going to come back to the Blues. They're really enjoying the nice little patch here.
Now this has got to be an important kick for Barnaby. I know he's got no one on the mark. Play on, son. Can move forward.
He may as well. Well, now someone comes to the mark.
He can't cough it up here. He just has to make it count. Can't drop it on Brogan's head either.
He goes to Favola, why not? And Favola gets to the front, almost takes the mark. Clash of heads by the look of it. Beasy not well, but Favola ends up with it. Left foot shot from him. Can he kick his fourth? He's missed. Too severe. And a behind.
Beasy just injured, but he's up now and looks okay. And Favola also spent a bit of time on the turf after that collision. Roger James entrusted with the kick in. Interesting 6.5 minutes coming up before three-quarter time. The Blues will come home with the breeze. We'll check with Robbo shortly what that breeze is worth. Long kick by James with the breeze. Ball spilt to ground. Kurtafidis plays for it, gets the free. Play onto advantage. Ball comes to Davies. Kicks inside 50 to Hume.
Won't make it from there. Will not make the distance to the goal face. He might kick a point from the near side, but Hume does savagely swing the ball as he looks at it go away from him, from right to left, Dwayne. He's got to know his limitations here. That's why Blake's still offering leads. That's why he's still looking around. He wants to give it off. He's within, 35 metres from goal? And this is a tough kick for Darren Hume. He will take his best. He might even just sit it up on the edge of the goal square.
Or punch it hard. He might get there. Big kick this. They've kicked a couple against the trend, and he has pushed this across the face. Only a behind.
Port Adelaide's best scoring quarter for the year was the third quarter in round 4 against Carlton, where they kicked 8 goals for. They've got 6-4 today in this one.
And they've got time to add to it. Burgoyne, long to the run of Wanganeen. If it sits for him, he's away. It doesn't. He has to hold in it brilliantly. Got past Waite, but then his handball just missed Wilson. Waite's going to get it back. Thinks about the dish off. Now goes with the kick. Ill-directed. Paxman. Mark free kick. Doesn't matter.
So this important here for Carlton, just to hold, make sure it doesn't hit somebody.
Handball to Schofield. Schofield goes long to half forward. Good position here, the Blues defenders. One of those is Beaumont, but he's across the line, and we'll have a boundary throwing. The same boundary that Michael Roberts is on.
Yeah, a couple of drops of rain too, boys, so that's a little bit threatening, but the wind doesn't change too much. If they use it correctly, it's about a 5-goal advantage.
Ball back into play. Kudafiti's having a better quarter. Rolls it towards the wing. Wanganeen, big kick and shoulder on Wanganeen, and Sean O'Keefe making his presence felt in game number 4. In fact, it was Camporelli and O'Keefe, but Camporelli's shoulder was the dominant factor in that collision. Trent Ray, what strong hands he has.
Billy Mountain has not been able to stay with Fred Ray on the lead. Not only stay with him, get within 5 metres of him.
Centering ball to Corns, just over his head. Cockatoo Collins slaps on. Camporelli, McKay under pressure. 360 spin in the tackle. Ball comes out wide. Sean Burgoyne, Beaumont, Burgoyne, boundary. Burgoyne can't quite get away. In fact, the boundary beats them both. It was a little too quick for them. And we will get the ball in. There it is.
Well, he's worn enough. He's been pinged a few times himself, Scotty Camporelli. He's just trying to get back at life.
Laid to the front. Got it to Carr. Around the body. Dangerous ball this for Carlton. Fist on it. Yep, touched.
Carlton player in the hands of trainers.
Livingston it is.
Oh, that's where that clash came from, and that's a knee problem. Fingers crossed for young Livingston that he's okay.
Has had some injuries in his career, a twisted bowel, and Carlton's 4th pick in the 2000 draft is in a bit of trouble. Manton has the ball. Livingston comes off. Manton, we wonder how long he's got in his premiership career. Ball thumped clear of the pack. Kudafiti's great third term now because he finds Houlihan on the wing with some space. Brogan comes at him. Houlihan inside 50 for Vola. One grab, not the second. Bishop with the sport out of Polton, who seeks the sanctuary of the boundary line. And the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. This is Livingston's clash with Prendergast.
Maybe that's a bit of a
Corky.
Dead leg syndrome.
Dead leg, yeah. Fingers crossed, Herman. That's the best result, isn't it?
Yep.
Brogan, little left hand assist. Polton comes in. Carr gets involved as well. Hands and knees. The handball okay to Hardwick. Around the body, Wanganeen. Just needed to be clean. Kudafiti's was. Got it to Hume. Hume high inside the 50. Paxman, well done.
In the back.
Free kick. Free kick against Paxman. He's arguing his case. It's not going to do him much good. And Simon Beaumont, the recipient.
Well, he started his career as a forward. He went to the back line, found some great form, and this year and halfway through last year started to struggle a bit. He's a super player.
Good shot of it here. That's a fantastic kick. They won't like it, the Port Adelaide fans, but it's a goal to the Blues.
Big rap for this man, Simon Beaumont. And Pax, look, you can shake your head, mate, because there's probably been 30 or 40 adjudications this weekend with the open hands. Gives the slightest of slaps in the back, and it goes unpunished. No, that's not a free. Anyway, Simon Beaumont, yeah, he's struggled in the back line over the last season. I reckon he's a great talent. Simon Beaumont. He's just showing the signs of somebody who's undersized, been asked to play key position. He's been belted up for about 3 seasons by bigger backmen, but still has been very, very good. He's just giving in a bit now, so he just needs to find a nice half-back flank or something where he can do the belting up.
Kunafidis with the takeaway from the middle. Danger signs here for Port Adelaide. They lead, but the Blues come home with the breeze. Carlton saves them this time. Wide ball, Sean Burgoyne. Looks upfield for a target. Wobbly ball, Pickett. Not quite, it was paid the mark.
Paid the hole.
Was he?
Yep.
Okay. Another 2.5 minutes with which to use the breeze, Port Adelaide.
Oh, they're back into show party stuff.
Out of trouble. Now the drop punt to half forward. Over the head of Cockatoo Collins and waiting behind Kane Corns.
Just since over the last 7 or 8 minutes, Port Adelaide have just snuck back into show pony stuff. They're starting to not go for the first option under real pressure and try and find it to their teammates' advantage. It's almost like I can just do a sidestep here and a little balk, get balanced and just kick it beautifully. It's not that much, it's not that tough a game. Well, it is.
Big kick, 10-point lead, inside 2 minutes, starts at left, brings it back, and Kane, able.
He gives Scotty Camperelli the fist in the face then. A little one where he did last year when they beat Collingwood with a missed kick on the siren, and the boys went to him. I mean, at least wait till you get 100 games under your belt before you start waving the fist in as a 250 game player.
What like you did?
Well, at least wait at 10. He said, hang on now. Come on guys, there's. Keep it long enough so we can see him. Give it to Scotty Camperelli. There you go. You cheeky little, won't say it. That's when you're prepared to wear a short-term loss for a long-term game, when you slap him on the ear.
Said in a player profile once that his hero was Chopper Reed.
That says plenty. Beaumont tries to, in fact it was O'Keefe, tries to belt his way through and couldn't actually get there. No. Michael Roberts.
Luke Livingston, Ash Gray, he can't support his body weight. They've got him lying down. They've been testing him for a good 5 minutes about ligament damage. He's been knocked on the right side, the lateral side of the right knee.
Look at that for a couple of hard nuts. Hardwick and Hume. Hardwick gets it inside the forward 50. Picked up by Schofield. Full-chested running. And the finish wasn't there.
See that? That was a big kick in the context of this game. 17 points. This is manageable by Carlton, the way they are playing their structured footy today in the last quarter with this big breeze. 17 points is manageable. That was a big one.
Now got disposed of after he disposed of the ball.
Second time to that.
Free kick downfield. Kunafidis chips it French. Now McKay chips it towards Fafala. Couldn't half volley it. Paxman. Inside a minute remaining. 5-all from Paxman. Carlton still a chance to score here. McKay just couldn't find a handle or close to the boundary. In fact, Carlton will receive a free kick at half-back for Port Adelaide.
You made that up about...
No, he said in the interview that Chopper Reed was one of his inspirations. And I'm not making that up.
Kane Corn said that.
High down the line. Almost broken. Cochran. Scott Pickett running if he wants to use him. He's dragged down from behind. A great chase and tackle from Murphy. Advantage played for the Blues. Time enough if they're good enough. 22 seconds and counting. Ball on the wing. O'Keefe. Simpson it is. Dragged down.
Well, you can forgive the boy. He's played a full game of footy already this weekend, James. Fronted up for Coburg yesterday.
The Bull Ants.
Yeah. Surrey Preston, and up against Port Melbourne, and he's with one of his teammates going down due to illness. Thornton, he was asked to play a second game this weekend, so just looked a little bit slow, then looked like he was running in the gumboots, but I tell you what, his team is doing incredibly well here. They are within distance, Carlton, with a 4 to 5 goal breeze to kick with in the last quarter. Game alive here at Amy Stadium. Port Adelaide 13-13-91 plays Carlton 11-8-74.
Wanganeen outside. Beautiful move from Pickett. Has got no one anywhere near him. Can control the footy now. Stretches weight. 55 out. Running drop.
Hi, I'm Ken Kingsley from the Geelong Football Club. Want to know what makes this cat purr? Being surrounded by 4 beautiful women who love talking about football.
The chicks behind the big sticks. Living with Footballers. Tuesday nights on Fox Footy Channel.
Nobody beats Baines Warehouse on price. Here's proof. Roller kit, only $4.87. Electric line trimmer, just $29.98. Cordless drill kit, great value at $79. 25-metre extension lead, a low $16.89. Swiss-style garden secateurs, just $3.99. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Meet Janet. She bought a Simpson washing machine and dryer and suddenly found the time to develop a killer backhand. Next door, Teresa bought a Simpson dishwasher and now has time to discuss current affairs. Tanya bought a Simpson oven and she then had the time to get to know the new neighbour, Tim. Simpson's time-saving features give you more time for life. Simpson, time for life.
Baby, you've got something. Tom, this is the best bit. Baby, you're my number one.
I'm waiting for a call, Bert. Hurry up.
It's all right, Patty. I've turned on Telstra Home Messages 101. It's free to turn it on. It's free to get the messages. Just dial 101 and it'll take the messages for you. Baby, you're my number. I say, baby.
Telstra Home Messages 101. It's free. Dial 101 from home to turn it on.
You watch our show, League 2?
I do, yeah.
Could you describe the panel with one word? My shoe?
Parrot. I'm going to deliver now. Just lift it over.
That's all right.
No, I said, you look at that.
Russell Green?
Knowledgeable? I would know if you stood up my porridge.
Yours truly.
Superstar.
Yes, that's 2 words that we'll take it as one.
An exclusive interview with the hard-hitting reporter John Barnes.
Fox League Teams, live Thursday nights, 8:30.
Here at AAMI Stadium, and we won't wait until another day. It is Port Adelaide, 17 points ahead at three-quarter time with a 7-goal third quarter. They are 13-13-91 to Carlton, 11-8-74. Still into the wind. Carlton kicked 4 goals. They will not lie down. They will not go away. Dennis Pagan took a long time to get out onto the ground. You'd think that Port Adelaide would have learnt. In the first half, they only went down the corridor 14% of the time with their penetrations inside 50. Only 30% of the time, 29 to be accurate, in the third quarter. They're just not giving perhaps the biggest dominant forward in the competition, Warren Tredrea, in the middle of the screen there, the opportunities he deserves. A couple of other games going on while we speak here at three-quarter time. You know the drill once again. If you don't want to know those scores, look away now.
Can't you see life's easy to consider things from another point of view?
Team huddles disperse as we look at Kane Corns on screen there. Not against giving it to the opposition players, experienced or not. Scotty Camperelli was on the end of I suppose a little bit of a slurry there, a slur at him. Let's go down to Robbo on the boundary line.
Thanks, Dermot. And Luke Livingston stretched his knee in the huddle and actually went for a bit of a run, so that's good news for him. Actually, Mark Williams spent a lot of time on the whiteboard to get his players up. Take risks, run the ball into the breeze. Carlton going to have to do their work. Don't rely on the breeze to win this one.
Let's have a look at it. And Port Adelaide setting up with 4 players in their goal square. Whole forward line is open. Kuda, 3 possessions to half-time. He got 8 after he moved into the centre.
17 points the margin. Carlton 3 goals from the lead. Ball bounced, picked up by Carr. Can he get through traffic? He does, but he kicks it to Murphy. And Murphy takes the mark in the middle.
Isolate Favola, go long to him.
Does go long, uses the breeze. High kick. Favola, ball punch clear by Bishop, down to Carr. Now Burgoyne, short. Wide ball from his boot. James dives. And he takes a good mark at half-back.
Great battle, that one. Roger James coming up for his 23rd possession. Darren Hume, consequently, on the mark there, has been Carlton's best by far. 19 possessions to him.
Very nice touch kick too from Sean Burgoyne. James takes Hume on and now goes with the left foot down the line. Treadray.
One-on-one. They've just got to give Treadray the option of one-on-one football.
8 marks. Yep, 8 marks for the match, Dermot. And a lot of those contested. He's now got to find an option inside the forward 50. Looks like McKay has gone to Chad Corns. There's that left foot option he chooses. Corns and McKay. The double back option there for Beaumont. This is McKay coming through beautifully. The handball missed its target though in Murphy. And Pickett can pick it up just outside the 50. Around the body from Byron. Corns coming back with a flight. Just couldn't take the mark. And it's a rush behind.
Simon Beaumont coughed up that mark and just stayed flat-footed from where he dropped it. Let's have a look at this mark. Once again, Dwayne, we talked about it before. The good players identify that drop zone of the ball, protect it, and then fall into it.
Play on, called the umpire. Carr gives to James. Known goal kicker. Sprays it way wide. Out of bounds on the full. Treadray must be rated in the top 7 or 8 players in the competition now, surely. From virtually the back pocket, Lappin, long, Lane. Thumps it clear of the pack. Race on, Murphy gets there first. It's the handball out to Koutafidis. Slips a shortish pass. Big flight, Holton over the top. Good, strong saving mark at half-back.
She's been good. Holton gets it to Burgoyne. Over the top now. Schofield can run if it bounces. Gee, it's sacked beautifully for him too. Around the body. Good kick. Cassisi. 55 out from goal. Chiseling ball to Treadray. Some nice structure from Port Adelaide, getting it inside their forward 50 and resolving on a shot on goal.
Well, Glennie Mountain's been brought into this game to play on Warren Treadray. He must have a good record against him or something like that. Hasn't played footy for 18 weeks at the top level. We know Glennie Mountain loves his footy and wants to play league football. But at the moment, he's off the pace against Warren Treadray. And you have to ask yourself, in this last quarter, they can still win this, Carlton. But Treadray looks like the man forward of the centre for Port Adelaide who will stop Carlton. Do you keep going with Glenn Mountain?
2 goals, 1 in the afternoon for Warren Treadray. Look at that kick. That is fantastic. Benny Perkins has sorted him out. Warren Treadray's kicking him straight.
Then on the flip side of the coin, you've got to wonder who the options are. And perhaps you'd rob Peter to pay Paul. Maybe Koutafidis could go down there and play on him. Maybe you could swap Beaumont onto him. Just see how you go. But at the moment, Glennie Mountain is not doing the job required of him. Got to get some takeaway out of the middle here, the Blues.
Mentioned Ben Perkins, Dwayne, going into the break. The Wallabies may recruit him back, given the way they're travelling.
Certainly might. And that was just off the boot, a spear. It never altered one iota. From the midfield, James, who very rarely alters from being very, very good. Hits it to half forward, Murphy to Beaumont. Out of trouble, the Blues. Rolling ball. Beats a couple, will beat weight over it. Slips a handball to Hume. Wobbly torpedo inside 50. Ball missed for Vola. McKernan was there. Well played by Brogan. Playing full back at the moment because McKernan has dropped back to full forward. Wanganeen. Enough said. Just watch. Treadray.
Livingston under him now, and Mountain been taken from the ground.
Mark number 10 for Treadray. High kick. Difficult one to mark. 2 Blues spoil each other. Beaumont caught by Pickett. Wilson rolls it through traffic. Cockatoo Collins. Picked up by Wilson. Rolls it through. Hoping for Dew. Can he get his way out of trouble? The Cockatoo Collins bounces on his head. Kicks across the face of goal. And Prendergast should pick up. Does pick up. Mops up for the Blues and sends them out of defence.
McCormick back on.
Had Murphy stone cold in the centre, went further afield and found Fisher with a good kick, and Fisher took a good mark. They need some action on the scoreboard here, the Blues. Inside the 50, McKernan with a big fly at the back. Just couldn't get clean hands to the ball, and again Wanganeen in that mopping up role, doing a terrific job. Long kick, Cords. Wonderful player this season for Port Adelaide.
They always take it in a tandem, don't they, with Cords and Treadray. One sits back and the other nods to the other one and says, right, you go up and meet the ball on the wing this time.
This time they trade. Dermot, one for the other. A couple of marks for the star forwards.
To get the handball here.
Treadray wheels around. High looking for Jew. It's going to drop for him too. The ball just hung up in the breeze. And in the end, Beaumont really needed one of his teammates to give him a chop out there, and it didn't happen.
This drops very steeply. And there's probably only about 3 or 4 blokes who might be able to kick this goal out from this range into the wind on the ground at the moment.
Well, Stewie Jew, that's his afternoon's work. He has got a set of legs on him, this dude. They are serious cannons. He's got it onto the left boot. He's got it low, and it's going, but it hasn't quite got there. Right on the line, it's touched. Port Adelaide 99, Carlton 74.
Even though it's still 14 minutes, 25 points to margin. Can't panic here, Carlton.
Jude drops against the breeze. It is raining, isn't it, Robbo, down there at the moment?
Yes, consistent rain, and the lights are on. So couldn't see much before, but they've come on. That's magnificent.
Treadray sing it like a basketball inside 50 to Carr. About 25 metres out, Warren Treadray and Gavin Wanganeen have together lifted this Port Adelaide outfit that was playing average football in the first half to somewhere recognisable from their best.
Well, Warren's kicked 3 goals as we wait on Carr to come in. 12 marks for Treadray. He could finish with 5 or 6.
Carr just pushes it across the face of goal, and it's only a behind. Only travelled 7.5 minutes into this final term, so the Blues with this breeze still a slim hope.
They trail by 26 points. They're going to have to get some scoreboard pressure back onto Port Adelaide. This is Wiggins.
That's better. They need to chop it up a little bit rather than just go long on every occasion.
He goes long, looking for a teammate in Barnaby French. He was working back on Lade, and that was illegal apparently. So Brendan Lade.
He made contact with him while he never once faced the ball.
Had his selectorial problems this year with Port Adelaide, Brendan Lade, but he's in the side now and playing good football. Corns wide to Bishop. Bishop, the little short one. Okay to Paxman, and he'll get it back on the 1-2. High. 35 out from goal. Murphy to fly. In the end, Corns was the only player to get a hand on it. That was Kane Corns. Hardly what you'd call a marking option forward. Lappin on top of the ball. And a bounce about 25 out from the Port Adelaide goal.
I've worked out Kane Corns. I'll tell you in a second.
9 scoreless minutes for Carlton with this breeze so far this term. Picked up by Murphy. High kick from half-back by Fisher. Off hands, picked up by Waite. He rolls it inside 50. Big opportunity this. Picked up by Fisher. How far is it? Play on. Did he dispose of it? He ties it off the ground. It's rolling. And just rolls. Second on the inside.
Good second effort.
Did he have prior opportunity, and did he dispose of it legally?
The only thing you'd say is that he's only taken 2 steps, even though he's been run down from behind. Yeah, Kane Corns shows all the signs of a younger brother who's smaller than his older brother who's been beaten up a lot. The only way he fights back is smart mouthing.
Wilson. Wanganeen again in all sorts of space. 25 points the lead here for Port Adelaide. Short ball. Carr, the short option. Centre half forward he goes. Cotton to Collins. When they get it from one end of the ground to the other like that, Port Adelaide, they just look so good. Almost like a training drill. And Cockatoo Collins in the end with the safe mark, and A very good set shot exponent, as we've already said this afternoon. He's about 25, well, he's further than that, 35 metres out, so distance shouldn't be a problem.
Inside 12 minutes, 25-point lead. You think Carlton, if they put their act together, can come back from here, but this would snuff it.
He's eased it out to the right. Shake of the head from Shea. Back to a 26-point lead for Port.
Mark Williams still a little pensive. Scott Camperelli entrusted with the kick in for the Blues. Goes to Beaumont. Back pocket. Pickett stops him from playing on. Port Adelaide man on man right now, rather than pushing the zone back for the kick in. Shortish pass. Blade comes hard. Ball not clear by Prendergast. Pickett was there. Plays for the free kick. Got one too high. No doubt that he got one, but it wasn't only a little one that he accentuated. Yes, it was.
Second free kick for Byron.
And he goes to the goal square. Low trajectory. Punch clear. Chance for Camperelli to mop up. Big wobbly torpedo towards the boundary line, and it bounces its way out of play and will get a ball in.
They're playing dead now, Carlton. The zip's gone out of them. The urgency has gone out of them here. So what we're looking at now is to see how... Did he actually make contact?
Boundary throw-in. Work to the front by Koutafidis. Carr involved. Camperelli involved. His birthday tomorrow, Scott Camperelli. Mightn't be a massive celebration unless they can have a big finish to this fourth term. Kane Corns was the scrimmage that resulted in a free for him. High ball, some wrestling, number of players in the air. In the end, Beaumont the only one down, and he took the ball away. Hume to the front, McCormick, haven't seen that much of him. Doubles back, long ball, good kick, Beasy. In some space, McKernan gets rid of his direct opponent in Brogan. Kick's going to go over his head. Favola, Brogan gets back as a second option up. And Bishop involved as well, now Wanganeen. So much time back there to create, and generally he does. There's another example.
Got to use up Corey McKernan. You saw Brogan go back to be the third man up and assist Paxman against Favola. I mean, McKernan leads up the ground. It's a 35-metre pass. Brogan knows that they're not going to go to him, so he peels off and makes it a tag team on Favola. Got to use up that bloke who comes forward.
Corns jumps hard. Good mark by Corns. Michael Roberts on the boundary.
Well, if Camperelli was over the line when he kicked out from the goal square, Josh Carr's just marked that at least a metre the other side of the line. On the umpire.
You're allowed to do that at a football park. It's the Carey rule. Long inside 50. Beaumont takes the mark between full-back and centre-half back. Lappin. Wobbly kick. McKay. Kenny Grammett taps it to his own advantage. Does brilliantly. Well, maybe not quite so brilliantly in the end, but had the right effect.
In the end,
ball out of play.
Yeah, he's brought the ball 40 metres around the...
We'll just have to bring the fence up to the line here at Football Park, so we're never in doubt.
That was Robbo looking really cold in there.
He just wanted us to get the camera shot of him.
Exactly right. Almost Koutafidis. Now he's got it through. This is Corey McKernan Dermott. Hands out in front of the face. Good work.
I'm surprised Robbo didn't run out and tackle him to get on camera. But having said that, he never tackled anyone, Robbo.
Kick to Big Brendan. The fist away was nice from Bishop. Across the line. Boundary throw-in. Robbo, have you got a response?
In fact, that's
one of the hardest players ever to play the game.
In fact, that's the same spot you played in, isn't it, Robbo? Just outside the boundary line on the wing.
I thought you were going to use the Lee Matthews line there. I wasn't a good tackler. You didn't have to be when you've got the thing.
Exactly.
Work to the front there by McKernan. Weight claimed in a Port Adelaide sandwich. And we'll have a bounce. 55 out from their goal. That's the Blues goal. They haven't made great use of the breeze, it has to be said, in this final term.
In all fairness to Robbo, he would have taken it, dodged, weaved, sidestepped and got.
Had some flair. Ball up. Now free kick's been picked out of it. It'll go Brogan's way. And the scoreboard and time. Now the enemy for the Blues. This is the reason why the free. Jostling for position, for front position. Free kicks this quarter. Port Adelaide 4. Carlton yet to get one. Brogan. Ball swings wide. That's definitely out of bounds on the full.
Run pass for the handball here, Robbo.
Yep, that was definitely out. I can give that one the thumbs up.
Ball inside 50 McKernan. He's down to the contest by Brogan, Paxman, Wanganeen. He has Polton. He takes them all on, Gavin Wanganeen. Last line of defence. Polton's in trouble. Favola might make them pay. He might keep Carlton alive. He might get another kick.
No, it was a throw. It was a throw, and the umpire says there is no advantage. So that's good umpiring. You will have a look at this on replay, obviously. It's a one-handed give-up, I think, from memory. Yeah, there you go. That's a free.
So
Fisher, isn't it?
When Favola takes the opportunity to kick at goal, does that count as his prior opportunity?
Well,
does that count as
the thing
his
is,
play-on opportunity to advantage?
It could, but the thing is, he's actually snapped within about 1 second of the free kick, so the umpire is going to bring it back anyway.
Big kick this to keep Carlton alive, and Fisher has thrown it through.
Valid point you raised, though, Dwayne, and the thing is, from the time he has kicked the ball on, no one's had the thought process enough to say, will I exercise our right to have play on advantage? I mean, he's just seen the ball, and on instinct he snapped. Right there it is. No steps, just execution. So it's up to the umpire to make the adjudication. Did he have time to actually assess the situation? No. Good decision.
Big loud boo from the Port Adelaide fans, and that's the nicest noise you can hear as the opposing side here at AAMI Stadium. The Blues with a goal, a much needed one. Camporelli high to half forward. Beasy parked under it. Burgoyne, lovely handball to Gavin Wanganeen.
Oh, Byron Pickett's chopped one out as well.
High to the members' side. Josh Carr in front of Murphy. The look-away handball over the top was okay. Got it to Schofield. Roger James, well done, Murphy. Broke all of that up and then slapped it forward. Missed Beasy, but Hume comes piling through. Kicks it forward again, Wanganeen. He has had 27 disposals, Gavin, as we see Byron Pickett just come through and sit young O'Keefe right on the AAMI Stadium turf. Gavin had a lot of football. 21 kicks, 5 handballs and 6 marks. It's been a big afternoon for the champ. High down the line, Brendan Lade in best position, thumped away from him. There is O'Keefe, so he's got to his feet okay.
Just a little bit groggy, one would suggest.
He's given away a free kick to back that up, Dermot.
4 goals, 6.5 minutes is the equation for the Blues. Kick to half forward. Lapham was there. Treadray beats a couple, as he quite often does, and kicks it to Jew. And this might seal. Chips toward the goal square. Run it down. Gassisi straight through the middle. Game over.
Once again, the goal is created by a 1-on-3 win by this man, Warren Treadray. There's the second opponent, shrugs that and lets the third go past him, balks him and moves the ball on. Super game by Warren Treadray. Not convincing by Port, but they'll get home.
Cassisi's first career goal, Port Adelaide's 15th, and they're now out pretty comfortably. High goes Barnaby French. Nice work from Camporelli to get it to Hume. He kicks it high inside the 50. Favola stuck underneath. McCormick wrapped up in the Burgoyne tackle. Burgoyne goes off the ground. Roger James in some space. Hume comes at him. James off the ground again. Lappin slides in. The boundary line looming. Lappin a bit of tunnel ball. Eventually James gets it out of there. Wonderful football. Left foots it. Here's Cockatoo Collins. Good hands.
How did James get out of there? Amazing, wasn't it? Found a path through the traffic.
Sideways from Cockatoo Collins to Brendan Lade, who was just lurking at centre half forward.
He may as well be 70 out.
He goes back to Byron Pickett. They're trading him inside the forward 50 now, Port Adelaide. And Byron 40 metres out, 35, almost directly in front.
But the open goal square is thinking about playing on and spearing it low. Good play, wasn't it, by James? That's the creation there. That area between the true half-forward flank and the wing, that's the breakdown zone in a game of football. You win a ball there.
Kick two in the third term, Byron. He's now got one in the final term, and they're celebrating at Football Park.
Well, the highlight there, Byron Pickett celebrating. Here's the Roger James. Now look at the traffic there. You think you've got to come inboard. No, he finds a side on the boundary line. They all think he's coming inboard. Just finds the split here. And Byron Pickett eventually, when he kicks it, he gives us the Hulk Hogan celebration. He gives us, no, not so much the kiss the pythons, the pointer.
Port Adelaide out to the biggest margin of the game, 32 points. French in the ruck. Wiggins picks up, kicks it off hands, gathered by Paxman, caught, and we'll get a ball up.
Those who love wrestling, Byron Pickett's celebration. Remember Hulk Hogan? Well, here we go. Points to his crowd. Next thing he'll be raising the open palm to the ear. Can't hear you cheers.
Ball up in the middle. Picked off by Wiggins after Carr's kick was smothered. Lade gets back. Wait, got a hand on ball, Bishop. Nicely through traffic, wide handball. Here he is, Byron. Hulk Hogan, I should say, from half back. Shrugs the tackle, does Hope. And finds Sean Burgoyne on the outer wing. And we're inside 4 minutes to full time.
That's 17 possessions, Byron. It's been a good game for him. 3 goals.
Every time he's had the ball, though, it's just been excitement. He's run into space or he's burst out of the traffic or he's been popping him up at the goals.
Burgoyne down the line looking for Treadray. Not able to find him.
Headbutted Hume away then.
Strength not one of Warren's problems. And that man has got a big month and a half ahead of him. He's got his team at the top of the table and they've got some wrongs to right in September. And if Mike Williams has got anything to do with it, they will. Don't worry about that. This is Camporelli. Brings it away from half-back. Long pumping ball. Good mark taken out there by Morgan.
In fact, you'll be hoping he's got just a little bit longer than a month and a half in front of him. As the handball wide to Bishop. Slowly picked up. Cavola came at him. Maybe that pressure just pushed the kick wide. Carr traps it just inside the boundary. McCormick and just corralled him rather than going at him. Wanganeen. Fisher. Good mark. Dropping back with the flight. 72nd pick in the 2002 draft. Fisher finds Wiggins, who was 15th pick in that same draft in 2000. In fact, the only Tasmanian in the draft that year. Short pass to McKernan. They know they can't wing the Blues. Pedre holds McKernan up. Speculation as to where Corey will spend next year as the kick towards French. He is taken at half forward by the export big man.
Inside 50s, 45 to 62 in favour of Port.
And make that 46 because they go in again. Carlton, Kane Corns, who's been pretty good. Gets it to Burgoyne, whose second half has been better. He was fairly quiet in the first half of the game. Over the top to Paxman.
Yeah, he pushed deeper into defence, Burgoyne, and runs forward with the ball.
Wanganeen, the top possession getter for Port Adelaide. He and Roger James have been prolific. That kick not as well steered. Over the back for Cece. Now Beasy. Carr and Lappin. Lappin the handball out to Dew. Dew wheels around, left foot, look at Pickett. He can walk in and kick a goal here. Byron, he's going to take the mark first. Steps around, slung around, get the handball to Carr. Carr claimed perhaps when he didn't have it. Still going, Josh Carr. Byron's going to get it back and kick a goal. He's got 4. Port Adelaide have got 17.
Well, he did cough it up in the middle there, got slung to the ground, but one thing he does do, he follows it in all the way. He was tackled right on 50, so just follows it in, makes another number at the ball. Weighted numbers. He moves through the traffic as good as anyone. There's true half-forward flanker playing up there today.
He's got the ability, Byron, to make the very easy mark look just a little more difficult. Fingertips him and fumbles him around a bit.
Absolutely.
Just over 60 seconds remaining. French in the ruck, knocked it down. McKernan comes hard. Hume has been hard with Pickett all day. French, high kick towards half forward. Wanganeen waiting to mop it up. Didn't quite snare it this time. McCormick does. Who steps around trouble? Screws it high towards the goal square. It's a 2-on-1. Port Adelaide with the 2. Schonberg on one of the 2. Polton's free. Half back, out of side. Morgan just runs with him. Having a chat. What are we up to tonight? Might not celebrate too hard. Still got a big 7 weeks to come. Keep running. Couple of bounces. Shortish pass to half forward. Corns can't mark. Kasisi the crumb. Gives back to Corns. Maybe a chance for a late one. Spearing pass inside 50. Cocker to Collins. Handball out. Lane. Now Jew. Left foot. Round the body. Straight over the goal. Umpire's head.
Well, it's getting to be the margin we all suspected now. Out to 44 points with just seconds left in the game. Stewie Jew. He's been on and off the bench, 13 possessions, 2 goals now to his credit. Mark Williams, I reckon the pulse has just edged back a couple of beats per minute since half-time now.
May just have that first half on tape though, Dermot.
No, there's no doubt. It might be the recession they had to have before the finals, rather than just go in and get piffed out in quick succession again. Dwayne, have you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the dictionary and have a look up. Piffed.
Piffed.
You just get the sense it's not going to happen. High goes French for Carlton. Then he gets it back and he's slumped to ground as we count the seconds down. There aren't many left. It might be a mark here for Carlton. They'll need one. Does it pay? No, that's full time. So a win to Port Adelaide and Mark Williams. And Dennis Pagan wonders how his club can get a win on the road. But they met a high-quality opponent today. And that man played high-quality football, kicking 4.
Dennis Pagan's got the heat off him, hasn't he? I mean, everybody knows his team list is not great. Dennis knows they're not going anywhere with this list now. So all he's got to do is try and find positives, and he will. He's a brilliant coach. Speaking of brilliance, that man was fantastic. Obviously, he was brilliant if he is that way. But
well, he's a Port Adelaide boy, born and bred, Warren Tretre, and over 100 years of magnificent history. And this jumper was what fathered the Port Adelaide Power AFL team, and they've done their heritage proud. And one of those Port Adelaide men through and through is Gavin Wanganeen, and he's down with Michael Roberts.
Thanks, Dwayne, and he wears the Port Adelaide old jumper, I'd say, the black and white jumper with pride. What's it like to have it on your skin?
Yeah, it feels funny. I remember running out as a 16-year-old playing with the Port Magpies, and it certainly does bring back memories.
Now, you seemed to play in that last bit. You just ran around off half-back, did it pretty well. Nice and elusive, got a lot of possessions, top possession, ball getter on the ground, another top performance by yourself.
Yeah, look, I had quite a few opponents, but look, the pressure from the midfield was excellent. The forwards stamped the authority on the game. The first half wasn't good, but the second half they really stepped it up, and it made it a lot easier on the backs.
Did you get a little bit of a rev up at half-time? Because Carlton actually free spirit, free running, and they took it up to you.
Yeah, they played quite well in the first half. The conditions weren't ideal for football. Choco was quite disappointed, so were we, and we came out and responded in the second half.
Nice to know, though, that you got a few injuries, and without 5 good heads are going to come back into the side.
Yeah, that's right. We're getting some key players back next week, and the guys that have stepped in, some of the young guys have done a fantastic job, and it's good for the experience.
Well done, Gav.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Robbo. Well done to Gavin Wanganeen there. And Roger James was outstanding also. 44-point win here. 12 goals to 5 in the second half for the Port Adelaide Power. Not Magpies, but that is their heritage strip, Dwayne Russell, one that you would know and love so well.
Yes, we talked about it pre-game, but they are religious in their support for Port Adelaide, and as we said, that is their Bible, that jumper. They swear by it, and they have lived by it, Port Adelaide's fans. And it is great to see the Power now in the AFL, and they are a team distinct from the Port Adelaide Magpies, but it is great that we have been able to, in this round at least, recognise the heritage by wearing the black and white just once.
Yeah, and their fans love that jumper. Some would say a lot of them have stood behind a couple of those bars.
Dwayne doesn't reckon that's funny.
No, he doesn't. They have been magnificent. What a proud culture the Port Adelaide Magpies have. But they're forging their own here, the Port Adelaide Power. They're top of the ladder. They had another big win today by 44 points. We'll be back on the other side of the break to wrap up. Port Adelaide 18-17, 125. Carlton 12-9, 81.